Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in the position to do that.
Pitch hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
On the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets align, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Going back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around. That is your
Going back, can't get to it. It'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Rounding the third, coming home to score is Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here. Deep right field. It is treetop tall and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Croca. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. And the Highlanders walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades.
Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Friday Night Flex here on Centex Sports Network. I am Jalen Gillis, your host of Friday Night Flex, and we are getting ready for what should be a great night of football, week 2 here in the Central Texas area. As right here on Friday Night Flex, we like to cover all things high school football in the Central Texas area or Greater Waco area, whichever one you want to call it. We want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today. We've got a special broadcast planned for you here today, folks. We're going to go through all of these games, talk about each one of these games here that's lined up on this great slate of football this weekend. As I talked about yesterday on Centex Primetime, from Thursday through Monday, we got football, so it's always a great time whenever we can do that. We want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. Make sure you guys go over to YouTube, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Also, like and share this stream as we'll be going to 10 o'clock tonight to let you guys know all things and what's going on around the Central Texas area in high school football. Friday Night Lights is back, and we are here to be able to bring you guys all the coverage for that. If you haven't already, go over to our website as well, CentexSportsNetwork.com. You'll be able to hit that subscription, free subscription on there. Just need your name and email to get signed up. You'll be able to catch all things MCC sports. If those of you that just got a chance to see the last commercial, MCC volleyball has tipped off their season. We just got a chance to watch in what was a super close game a couple of hours ago as they took on a really tough opponent. MCC, this new volleyball program, getting it started. They've got some great players. They're starting again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. They'll be playing over at the Highlands at MCC's gym. So make sure you guys are tuned in and getting ready for that. Like I said, folks, Friday Night Flex, we're going to cover all things high school football here in the Central Texas area. Let's preview a couple of these games that we have here for tonight. We'll give you the full slate of games, and we'll jump into some coverage. We'll cover some of the games that happened last night. Midway was able to come up with another big victory last night, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll have Wayne Walker on here with me in just a little bit. Rocky Miller out of town this week. He'll be back with us next week, though, for sure, and he'll also be on the show next week as well in Centex Primetime. Let's look at some of these games coming on. A few of them starting in 30 minutes, some of them coming on in just about an hour. At 7:30, Temple taking on Round Rock at Dragon Stadium. Temple 1-0. Round Rock still looking to pick up their first victory. Waco High looking to get into the win column as they take on Corsicana. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. University looking to get into the win column against the Granbury team who got a win versus Waco High in the last week. That game tipping off at 7 o'clock in Granbury. Belton versus Georgetown, an I-35 battle at 7 o'clock. Belton and Georgetown both 1-0, looking to pick up their second victory. Lake Belton played last night against Round Rock McNeil. Round Rock McNeil came out with the victory 34-28 in that game. Friday at 7:30, coming on in about an hour, one of my games of the week. Bastrop versus China Spring. China Spring punching up a class a little bit as they're taking on a team that's in 4A or in 5A. Both teams 1-0. China Spring looking to get another victory after coming off a really good victory last weekend versus Franklin. Connally, another team that got a win last weekend against Academy at 7 o'clock, kicking off versus Lago Vista, as Connally is going to have their senior night early at the beginning of the year as it is their first home game of the year. Both teams undefeated, looking to pick up their second win. Gatesville versus Glen Rose, another one of the games I have my games to watch for this week. Gatesville undefeated, taking on a tough Glen Rose team at Glen Rose. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. The game of the week this weekend is absolutely number 2 La Vega taking on Salina. Salina hasn't lost in almost 2 years. It's been a year and a half since the last time Salina has lost. They're taking on the La Vega Pirates, the state runner-ups in 4A Division II last year. Both teams 1-0, looking to get a victory. We'll talk more about that game in just a second. Lorena versus Malakoff. Lorena looking to get in the win column. Lost to Austin Regents last week, taking on another tough team this weekend against Malakoff. That game kicking off at 7:30. One of my favorite teams to watch in Central Texas, Robinson Rockets taking on Caldwell. Robinson at home, making their home debut so far this year. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. Both teams undefeated in that game. West taking on Addison Trinity Christian. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. Whitney played last night against Fort Worth Benbrook. Fort Worth Benbrook pulls out a narrow victory, 52-48 last night over Whitney. McGregor and Grosbeck, both teams 0-1, looking to pick up a victory. McGregor playing on the road against Grosbeck. That game kicks off at 7:30. One of the biggest rivalries we have in this Central Texas area, Fairfield versus Mejia. Fairfield 1-0, Mejia looking for their first win still. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. That game in Mejia. Teague versus Toller. Teague 1-0 so far this year, playing a Toller team still looking for their first win. That game at 7 o'clock. Cameron Yo versus Sealy at 7:30 at Sealy as the Yeomen looking to get their first win of the season. Hillsboro and Troy. Last week, Troy had a battle of I-35 going south. Now they're going a little bit north as they're taking on Hillsboro. Hillsboro got a victory last week. Troy still looking for their first victory this year. That game kicking off at 7:30. Coleman versus Clifton. Both teams undefeated. Playing at Clifton. That game kicks off at 7. Early in Hamilton. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. Playing in Hamilton. Last night, Axtell versus Cairns. Cairns was able to get a narrow victory 20-14 over Axtell. Milano and Bosqueville kicking off at 7 o'clock in Bosqueville. Leon and Dawson kicking off at 7 o'clock. Both teams undefeated, playing at Dawson. Frost heading to Itasca to play at 7:30. Frost 1-0. Itasca still looking for their first victory. Holland versus Valley Mills, playing in Valley Mills. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. Last night, Marlin fell short against Honey Grove, 40-7, playing in Corsicana. Honey Grove picks up another victory. Marlin still looking for their first win of the season. Another really good matchup slated for tonight, Crawford versus Centerville. That game is at 7:30, kicking off in Centerville. I told y'all, if you haven't already, bring your hiking shoes as y'all get ready for that game. As if anybody that's been to Centerville's stadium know that you got to hike to get up to the top of that stadium. Crawford and Centerville both undefeated, looking to pick up their second victory of the season. Bruceville Eddy and Barlett, playing in Barlett. Bruceville Eddy undefeated. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock. Moody and Heiko playing in Heiko tonight. Moody looking to get their second win of the season. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock. Riesel and Blooming Grove, both 0-1, looking to get their first victory of the season. That game kicks off at 7. At 7:30, Thrall plays Rosebud Lott, who is undefeated so far this season. That game kicks off at 7:30 as well. Bremond and Grapeland. Bremond, one of the top-ranked teams in the state in 2A Division II. They are 1-0, taking on another 1-0 team in Grapeland. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. A couple of more of these. Italy and Chilton, both undefeated, playing at Chilton. This Chilton team, I think, is getting ready for another great run, taking on an Italy team that is also undefeated. That game kicks off at 7 in Chilton. Hubbard versus McDade, both 0-1, looking for a victory. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. Mart and Maypearl, two teams that you expect to be in the win column, both searching for their first victory of the season. That game kicking off at 7:30 in Maypearl. Some of the lower levels of football here, Rio Vista and Wortham. Rio Vista on the road taking on Wortham. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock. Willow Park Trinity and Live Oak, as Live Oak looks to get their second win of the season. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. Lametta and Blum playing at 7:30 in Blum, Texas. Covington and Iredale kicking off at 7:30 in Iredale. Walnut Springs and Pretty kicking off at 7:30 in Pretty. And we got Bynum and Abbott both looking for their first win of the season, playing at 7:30 in Abbott. Coolidge and the Methodist Home Children. Methodist Home up 1-0 so far for the season. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock as well. Couple six-man games, Westbrook versus Jonesboro. That game in Jonesboro, both teams undefeated, getting ready to kick off in just a second. Copperell and Mount Calm playing at 7:30, kicking off at 7:30. And we've got Waco Christian and Evant playing at 7:30 in Waco Christian. Vanguard taking on the Texas School of Death. Both teams undefeated. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock. A great slate of games, folks, as you just heard there for tonight. A lot of teams trying to get that first win. A lot of teams trying to stay undefeated. Joining me in here on the studio, we've got the WISD Hall of Famer, also the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Mr. Wayne Walker, in the building with us. Wayne, got a great slate of games here tonight as we just got done previewing a few of those. Last week, got to see a really great slate of games as well. The number one game we're going to talk about in just a second, La Vega versus Salina, two powerhouse matchup teams.
No doubt.
We'll talk about them in just a second. Before we get into some more coverage of the games, we got to shout out to one of our sponsors, RJ's Bargain Center. You guys seen the decal up here on the back of this, and you also seen the commercial a little bit earlier. Why pay full price for appliances when you don't have to? At RJ's Bargain Center, you'll find brand new refrigerators, washers, dryers, and stoves at a deep discount every single day. Every week, fresh specials hit the floor, so there's always a new deal waiting for you. And when you buy, we'll deliver and install. So don't lift a finger, save time, save money, and upgrade your home. RJ's Bargain Center, a Centex Sports Network sponsor, located on 711 Lynn Street in Waco. Give them a call at 254-224-6178. That is 254-224-6178. Folks, that's RJ's Bargain Center. Like we said last week, you can't miss them when you're going down Waco Drive. The barn right there on the right, right before you get into Church's Chicken, enter into Bell Meats. Go over there, check out the great folks at RJ's Bargain Center.
Yes,
Wayne. Yeah, you can go ahead. Tell them a little bit.
Yes, a stable in East Waco.
Oh yeah.
You know, everything you need and everything you want is at RJ's. So go by and check them out, and they'll hook you right on up.
Yes, sir. They'll get you hooked up and taken care of over there. Wayne, we got a lot of high school football on the slate for today, but last night we got to see the kickoff of the NFL season.
Right.
The team that I'm sure everybody that's watches here, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. Rocky would make us call him America's team if he was on here today. Dallas Cowboys, and what was a great game, man, 24-20 last night. The Philadelphia Eagles came out with the victory. The Super Bowl champs opened the season up with the win in what was really an entertaining game, especially in that first half. Didn't see any scoring really in the second half, only a field goal from the Philadelphia Eagles. In the first half, no one could stop a nosebleed is what it seemed like. Two teams going back and forth. If you guys watched Centex Primetime with us a little bit earlier in the week, we previewed this game and we said, hey, this Dallas offense is going to be good. They're going to be hard to stop. And in that first half, we saw just that. They scored. Both teams scored on every drive. Philly had a very narrow 21-20 lead coming out of the locker room. In the second half, both defenses tightened up. We're getting stops. Philly was able to get a third quarter field goal, and that was the only scoring we had for the rest of the game as both defenses had an uptick. What you think about the game last night, Philly and Cowboys?
I mean, what a way to start it off. What a way to start off the NFL season. Dallas played a great game, probably should have won the game, was in the game, and the only problem I have with Dallas is what is their defense going to do? They weren't able to stop anything. They weren't even able to stop a nosebleed last night. No. Neither was Philly, but one thing about Philly, you know, they have their best defensive player coming back, and they just signed Zadarius Smith today, which is a pass rusher and a guy that's been to the Pro Bowl as well. But Dallas played a great game, probably should have won, but what a way to start off the NFL season with a game like that. And I know America was watching, and I don't know about Dallas being America's team, but I know they're a Texas team.
Absolutely,
so,
ain't no question about that.
I know all eyes was on the Cowboys last night.
Yeah, they definitely got all the eyeballs last night. It was a great game. Dallas came out with a great game plan in that first half, especially offensively.
Yeah.
They really got whatever they wanted until that last drive when they were held to a field goal. CeeDee Lamb came out after the game and, said, I'm going to put the blame on myself. And, he dropped a couple of catches in that game last night, two big ones at the end there. I really don't count the last one as a drop. I mean, he had to lay all the way out at the end of that. It hit his hands, though.
But when you're a receiver, that's a drop.
If it touch your hands.
If it touch your hands. Yeah. And I mean, he cradled it. He cradled the ball and he missed it. So he'll tell you that it's a drop. I'll tell you it's a drop because I'm a receiver. But they had their chances, and if you would have told me that it would have came down to CeeDee Lamb, a play that CeeDee Lamb could have made that made the difference in the game, then I would have told you that he would have made that play 99 out of 100 times. It didn't happen. It wasn't their night, and the Eagles came out victorious.
Yep, they pick up a win to start the season off, but I'm agreeing with you, Wayne. What a way to start the season. Regardless who you're rooting for in that game, Philly or Cowboys. Definitely very pleased with the product put out there in game one. Sometimes game one you'll see a little bit of rust and maybe the first couple of drives you don't get much action. That wasn't this game at all. From the kickoff, though everybody's offense was on fire. Javonte Williams proved to be a guy that they thought he could be, especially in that first half, getting 2 touchdowns early in that first half. Jalen Hurts just finding a way to win. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, man, Hurts didn't do anything. One of my friends is a Cowboys fan. He was mad the whole game saying, man, Jalen Hurts, he's trash, he's this, he's that. He's not able to. But he gets the plays that matter, and he makes the plays whenever they need to make the plays. That's what we saw last night from Jalen Hurts.
He's a Super Bowl champ. He's been to the Super Bowl the last 2 years. So there's nothing bad you can say about Jalen Hurts. He's proved himself to be a worthy quarterback and one of the best in the league. And a lot of times people base everything on stats, but with Jalen Hurts, you can base it on wins because that's what he's been doing the last couple of years. And man, hey, they're Super Bowl champs, and they came in and they defended their home last night, and they're 1-0, as bad as they did play, because they really could have came away with a loss last night, but they came out victorious. And sometimes winners find a way to win, and that's what they did. They just found a way to win last night. And a lot of these guys from both teams never saw any preseason action, and for them to come out and play at a high level like that last night, man, that was wonderful.
Yeah, that was a great game to see, man. I'm glad to see it started off. We get more NFL action coming on in a few minutes here. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on Wayne's Chargers in just a second. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock, so I'm excited to see that as they're playing over in Brazil. Second game in Brazil for the NFL, so, man, excited to watch that. We got to jump over to some high school football, man. We'll touch a little bit later in the show. I'll preview some of the games for Saturday's slate of college games. Also, we'll talk some about the NFL games. And we'll see if we have time. I can talk about Jalen Carter spitting on Dak, man. That was such a dumb move, but I got to jump into some high school football. I can't even believe he did that, man, to put his team and himself in jeopardy like that. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yesterday, we got to start some of week 2 in high school football in Central Texas as the Midway Panthers came out with the victory, traveling down to Austin once again, this time taking on Round Rock Cedar Ridge. They get a win 58-31 in this game. Now, as bad as that score sounds, the final score is a lot closer than what we saw in this. It was 45-10 at halftime. This game got away from Cedar Ridge very quickly, and this Midway offense, 2 weeks in a row, putting up 50-plus points. They put up over 100 points in just their first couple of weeks. Last week, we saw a multitude of guys getting into action. Andrew Air McNair, quarterback back there, was wheeling and dealing this week, did what he needed to do once again. Not a high completion rate, but it was he did have a high completion rate, but not a lot of completions because they didn't need that. Only 6 for 8 in that game, but completed majority of his passes, getting guys open once again. But the big story in this game is the running game once again for these guys. Last week, they dominated on the ground. This week, they picked right back up where they left off. Latham Wysenton is the real deal. As you guys can see up here, some of his game from last night. Only 5 carries for Latham Wysenton. 5 carries, Wayne. 135 yards and 3 touchdowns. This dude, every time he touches the football, he is a big play threat. This is why he's got 10-plus D1 offers. He's got offers from literally every corner of the United States. Oregon, he's got Ole Miss, he's got SEC offers, he's got Baylor and Big 12 offers. The University of Texas has already offered him. And you see why. This guy every single week is able to go out there and make plays for them. Latham Wysenton did what he did. Last week they had a newcomer on their offense in Jaden Fields Vaughn, who only had 6 touches last week in his game and took 4 of those to the house for a touchdown for 195 yards. This week, 10 carries in the game, 178 yards for 2 touchdowns. This backfield is turning into one of the best backfields in the state of Texas. Looking at these 2 guys, Latham Wysenton, we knew what he could do. We saw him rush for 1,200 yards last year as just a sophomore. This year, comes back, picking right back up where he left off, doing what he do. But now, the young sophomore in Jaden Fields Vaughn really starting to make a name for himself. Maybe you thought last week was a one-off? Absolutely not. Does it again this week, 10 carries for 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, as Midway Panthers, who open up their season playing 3 Thursday night games in a row and playing almost exclusively Austin teams. Next week, they're going out to Leander. So far, they've been doing what they need to do in Austin, heading down to Round Rock, getting another win against Cedar Ridge last night. What do you think about this Midway team under Joe Gillespie, man? Second year as head coach. This year, they're 2-0, over 100 points to start the season. What do you think about the Panthers?
Hey, man, I think it's wonderful. One game on neutral site, the other game on the road, putting up 50 points in each game. That's a wonderful thing. And then you have this thunder and lightning backfield where you can hand it to you. You have double threats. Man, that's a wonderful thing. Like you said, I mean, they hadn't been tested yet, but they're doing it on the road. So you get these guys experience to go win on the road. That's a great thing. And one thing about winning is contagious. So once you start to win and you start to get that feeling of winning, that's what you want to go out and do every single time you go out and play the game. So man, Midway is looking good. They doing what they had to do.
Yeah.
They taking care of business. So that means a lot in football.
Yeah, you got to go out there
Wins.
and win the game you're supposed to win. If sometimes teams are favored and they're still not able to come out with a victory. You got to win the ones you're supposed to win, especially a team like Midway that's playing in a really tough district with teams like Harker Heights, with teams like Shoemaker, with teams like Temple. That are all expected to be really good this year. You've got to go out and win the game you're supposed to win. That is exactly what Midway has done so far. Coach Joe Gillespie off to another great start, man. Seeing where these guys have come from over the last few years to this point now, getting back to what a lot of us know as Midway football over the last couple of decades, man. And so to see this team get back to that, and especially being led by the run game, that's what makes it so fun to watch these guys, because running the ball travels. You can run the ball on the road. You can run the ball at home. You can run the ball in the playoffs if you're able to run the football. Yeah. That's exactly what these guys are doing. Yeah. And they're not scared to pass the ball either. They're putting the ball into the air. They've got a multitude of receivers as well that can make plays out there for them. I like this Midway team. Their defense was able to get turnovers last night. They had a fumble. They had a blocked field goal that they took all the way back for a touchdown in the first half as well. So seeing what these guys have been able to do 2 weeks in a row, next week they have Leander. I expect them to be able to go out and get another victory. If they run the football like this, it's going to be hard for anybody to stop them for the rest of the year. Yes. Even as they get in the district, we know Shoemaker always has a really stout defense. Harker Heights always has a really stout defense. Temple's got the #1 defensive player in the state of Texas, and Jamarian Carlton, who's committed to the Baylor University. So they're going to have a really stout defense. Midway is able to run the football like they've been running it. Man, they're going to be a tough out as they get closer into the playoffs.
And why throw the ball when you can run it?
Yeah,
exactly. They told me it's so many things can happen bad when you pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback sack, quarterback fumble, interception, incompletion, tip ball. It's so many things can happen when you pass the ball, but their ground attack has been the key cog for those guys. So if they continue to run the ball, and when you get used to running the ball in inclement weather, like you said, it travels.
Yes.
That's what you want to do. When it's raining, when it's snowing, and it's cold, or that's what you want to be able to do, and they've been able to do that. And if they continue that, they'll be good for the rest of the season. And like you said, man, Midway is looking good right now. So we'll see what happens next week. And like you said, they had 3 Thursday games in a row.
Yeah, 3 of them.
So they doing it a day ahead of everybody else. So, man, let's see what I mean. Man, I'm rooting for Midway.
Absolutely. Midway, one of the only teams they have in 6A in this area. You got to go back down to Temple before you find another 6A. Man, they're playing at the highest level, and right now they're looking like they're ready to compete at the highest level. So shout out to Midway getting another win last night, 58-31 over Round Rock Cedar Ridge. Want to go over to what is the game of the week, the #2 La Vega Pirates taking on the Salina Bobcats. This is a powerhouse matchup between these two teams, folks. Last week, La Vega was able to come out with the victory as they took on Kennedale. They won 41-3 in that game. Multiple guys were able to get involved in the action on there. We know about their quarterback, Courtney Parr. We know about the Oklahoma State committed receiver in Jabari Thornton. But the others have started to step up and fill in. We watched Marquay Willis was able to take a punt return back to the house. They were able to get great production out of their special teams. They were able to run the ball with a multitude of guys. Elbert the Hammer Jones, as Rocky would call him, as we covered him last year, was able to take a 60-yard kickoff back to the house. So special teams is humming. We know they're going to be able to run the football, and we know La Vega is going to play stout defense. This week, they have what could be their toughest matchup of the year as they take on a Salina team that has not lost since November 24th of 2023 is the last time the Salina team has lost. That's a lot of wins in between then and now that they picked up. And that game that they lost was in, I believe, the 4th round of the playoffs that year. Haven't lost since then. Last year they go undefeated all the way through their state run. This is a star-studded team as well. We talked about some of the stars. We talked about some of the stars out there for the La Vega side. But they've got stars on their side as well. Salina, of course, their quarterback, Bo Bentley, threw for over 3,300 yards last year and 47 touchdowns, returning back into form. He's committed to the University of Oklahoma, so we know what this guy can do. They got a tight end, one of the top tight ends in the state of Texas that's committed to Pittsburgh, and Wyatt Villarreal, He's coming off a great season last year. Logan Gutierrez rushed for 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns last year. This is a star-studded team for Salina. It's the reason why these guys haven't lost in over almost a year and almost 2 years now. But they're returning. They got a lot of young guys in their offensive line. Got some young guys in the trenches, and that's where this La Vega team thrives. They thrive in the trenches, on the offensive line, on the defensive line. This is going to be a great matchup, folks. They're getting ready to kick off in just a few minutes. These two top state-ranked teams, it's been back and forth from what I've seen as far as people picking the game. Some guys have La Vega, some guys have Salina. But all I do know is this is going to be a great matchup tonight at 7 o'clock as these two teams getting ready to kick off against each other. Wayne, what do you think about La Vega versus Salina?
Hey, man, I pit La Vega against anyone.
Yeah.
But going into Salina, that's a tough atmosphere to go in and win in. But I'll put La Vega against anyone. I think it's going to be a battle. As both of these teams chose to not play cupcake schedules in the preseason and non-district games and come out and play a tough battle against each other. But it's one of those games where, you know, you gain valuable experience as a young guy going into district. So you put your guys, your younger guys that hadn't had that experience of playing in a game that they can gain some valuable experience and go and play in a team like Salina on the road, give them just that. But man, I'm anxious to see what this game is going. I mean, we'll be tuning in and out on this game and seeing what's going on and what's happening. And man, I'm anxious to see the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really good one. Powerhouse matchup. I have it as my number one game of the week in this Central Texas area, man. This team,
maybe the state.
Yeah, it's probably
one of the top games.
It's right
up
there. Yeah. We got Duncanville and Sock tonight. It's going to be a huge one as well. Atascocita and Katy are playing each other. That'll be a big one. But Salina La Vega is right up there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dave Campbell's put it as a number 2 game on the slate for the entire week this week, just below that Duncanville and Sock game as well. So that's going to be a great game that I'm super excited to watch. What was your mindset, Wayne, when you're going on the road, playing against one of these top-tier teams, whether that was in college or in high school? And, of course, you see all the press clippings. This guy's going to Oklahoma. This guy's going to Pittsburgh. You see all these guys. How do you get locked in and focused to be able to say, hey, man, this is just a game. These guys put on their cleats the same way we put our cleats on. We just got to go out there and play.
Well, man, first of all, you just got to focus. You focus on the game. You know what you have to do. You prepared for it all week. You practice for this all week. And this is the type of games that you want to play in. You want to play in the big games. You want to go to the games where the stadium is full, the stands are full, the band is playing, and you know, people doubting you. So those are the games that you really want to play in.
Yeah.
So, man, the main thing is just to have a steady focus and be ready to go when the whistle blows.
Yeah.
So going on the road is going to be tough. But if I had to pick anyone from around here, it would be La Vega.
Yeah,
it would be La Vega.
La Vega is the team to be able to do it, to be able to go out and get a win against a big team like that. That game kicking off in just a minute, folks. We got to get into a quick break. When we come back, we've got more of these games to break down. Waco High University. We've got to break down Connally, Robinson, China Springs. So stay tuned, folks, with us here on Friday Night Flex, as we're going to be right back after this short break.
CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in a position to do that.
Pitch hit here and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
On the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planet's alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Don't back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around.
To the gap. That's to the field. Center going back, can't get to it. It'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Rounding to the third, coming home to score is Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here, deep right field. It is treetop call and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Vega. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen from behind and walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades. Yeah. Yeah. Rappers really don't want beef with me. Trust me, I can beat you easily. Suckers get DDT'd. I've been swinging for the fences since I was in Little League. I make they nut like a guillotine. Ooh, Langston Hughes with the verses. Hook something like a ring, no. Baby girl, I ain't got time to chase you. I've been chasing dreams, whoa. I'm going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah. I already know if the beat is bananas, it's only right that I go ape on it, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't, ay, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events, we got those on lock too. From concerts to conferences, Lighthouse Streaming and Audio makes your vision shine. Book your appointment now at lighthousestreaming.com or call 254-252-4206 for a free consultation. Let's elevate your event and light up the stage.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Gillis. You may know me from Centex Sports Network. We're starting a new platform, Recruit 254. Our mission is to highlight the amazing student athletes of 254. So if you're in the Waco, Killeen, Temple, Mart, Marlin, or any surrounding 254 areas, follow this platform and join the movement. Recruit 254. 254, let's run it up.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Hello and welcome back to Friday Night Flex. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you are sharing and liking wherever you are watching from, whether that's on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And if you're on the website, make sure you subscribe and join it. We're at the part of Friday Night Flex where we kind of feature some of our local businesses. And last week we had a restaurant in here, but I told y'all last week it's levels to this. So start at one level and you just keep on moving up. It's levels, it's levels. And we are so honored here to have another local business, and it is PJ's Tabletop and Catering.
Yes.
All right, and I got Paul and Jamie here with us, and they're here. One of our local business owners. It's always important, y'all know I always preach it. Support local, support our local businesses, especially African-American owned business. Just introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your business.
I am Paula. I am the hands behind all of the food.
The hands. That means
the hands. That means I prepare everything. I prepare everything with the help of the Lord. From Waco, I've always had a passion to cook. I've just been cooking for a really long time. I just love cooking.
Do you do anything in this business, or you just kind of sit around?
I'm Jamie, the J of PJs.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm your runaround person. I'm the sous chef. How about that? I'm the sous.
You make it sound real good. You just do what you're told.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
that'll keep you married.
In a good way.
That'll keep you married.
Most definitely.
That'll keep you married. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do and what you specialize in. I see a lot of stuff here. We're gonna take the top off of here just a second.
So I specialize in soul food, just because of the comfort of how I grew up. Both of my grandmothers were great cooks. My dad is an awesome cook. My mom is an awesome cook. So it's just embedded in me. Okay. So I don't have a choice but to cook, but to cook.
So soul food, so we're talking about, I'll tell you what, before you even answer this, let's just go and take the top off of this. And let's see what it looks like. Then I got some, the hosts are gonna come in just a second. Go ahead and take the top. Let's see what we got. Wait a minute. Right, we got some chicken here. I see.
We got some baked chicken. We got some meatloaf. We got some potato salad.
What?
We got some.
I wasn't even calling for Anthony came in.
Yeah, we got. I can smell it. We got some greens and cabbage mix with some smoked turkey.
I see like some.
So we have some pound cake and some fried pound cake.
Okay.
And then we have some hot water cornbread and some dinner.
Pound cake.
Fried pound cake.
Okay. All right. Let's get the host in here, Jalen and Wayne. Let's get them on in here. Wayne, your ride buddy, Rocky Miller, ain't here today.
Yeah, so we'll conserve food today. Rocky is one of those guys that, he's going to take advantage of it. He's a great guy. Miss Rocky, but you're going to miss some great food today, Rocky.
Let's get some plates. Let's get some plates in here. And now tell her, how long have y'all been in business? How long have you been doing this?
So I've been catering probably about 15, 20 years off and on. I opened a brick and mortar in Temple back in the middle of COVID. Everybody thought I was crazy. We fulfilled our 2-year lease. and that was just that. And then we went into a food trailer, and so we've just been catering and doing food trailer, going back and forth.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. I see we got some potato salad. This is the real deal potato salad here, y'all.
Yeah.
Trying to get a camera shot. There ain't no raisins in this.
Ain't no raisins.
No raisins in it.
Ain't no raisins in that.
Just saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Ain't no raisins.
So greens mixed with cabbage.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I like it. Yeah, that's real good.
So you've been doing this for 15. You've been professionally, because you said it was in you. So
It's in me.
So you obviously been cooking probably all of your life.
All of my life. My daughter say, I don't know how you have. You came home, you did homework, we got baths, it was 3 of us, you cooked our meals, and you went to work. And she said, I got 2 kids, and I'll be about to go crazy. I'm just like, hey, you know, I do this.
Well, let me go ahead and get just a little piece of this yard bird right here. Make sure wherever you are, make sure that you are sharing and like it. So tell us, you got to tell us how to find you on Facebook. I know Facebook is a real good place to find you.
Yes. So you can find me a few places. PJ Tabletop. I think there is 2 Facebook pages, and you can also find me on my personal page. So I grew up in Waco, Texas. I went to school at university. So I'm very known in Waco. So if anybody know Paula Johnson, which is now Paula Jackson, please find me on Facebook.
So we'll make sure that we put that in the description below. So I'm looking. She told me what she did. So you saying you didn't cook nothing?
Today. Today.
Not only did they, I know a little bit about.
I'm sorry, I did cook something today.
He helped because I was at work.
Chicken today.
Because she said you didn't cook anything. I've seen you cook some fried fish one time. I've seen him on some fried fish and chicken. I've seen him on the chicken wings.
But he ain't gonna mess with them oxtails.
No.
So you bring oxtails up. So
yes, sir.
Oxtails. So if they want you to come and cater for them, they're not gonna miss you if they say they want some oxtails.
Not at all. We work from A to Z.
Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know, sometimes when you hire a caterer, they'll give you like a list, some grilled chicken patties, and you can have, maybe a little chop steak. No, that ain't.
You get this and more.
Yes.
Whatever you want.
Okay. And so make sure that you are finding them. As you can see, they got it up on the screen now. Make sure you're finding them. If you need a caterer, whether that be, we got Thanksgiving getting ready to come up,
Yes.
Christmas getting ready to happen. What you say? Somebody say New Year's, New Year's part. Whatever it is. Make sure that you reach out to them. You can reach Paul or Jamie, either one of them. We'll make sure. Matter of fact, we'll put the number in the description. We'll put their phone number in the description below. But make sure you reach out to them. Support local, y'all. Support local. The only way we keep this going is if we keep that economy amongst people of color and give them opportunities. You can go out to George's if you want, and you can get that chicken fried steak if you want. But if you want that, she said comfort food. If you want that comfort food, you got to go to the comfort food folks.
That's right.
And that is Paula and Jamie. They got the number on the screen now. They got the number on the screen. They working in the back. Got the number on the screen. Reach out to them and have them come and do your next part.
You don't want that yet. You ain't ready for that.
What's that?
You got to make sure you partake. You got to partake.
I mean,
that's not. So this is not just any tea. She makes it. She makes.
Okay.
This thing come from Bush's, baby.
Well, I can already
Not that I have anything against Bush's, because I like Bush's tea.
Bush is all right, but I didn't.
They're hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
But
right.
you're not gonna miss with that.
But this is the thing I want to talk about: hot water cornbread. Okay. I hadn't had hot water cornbread since my grandma. That's hot water cornbread.
Hot water corn.
That ain't no rolls. That's hot water cornbread. That's a difference. There's a difference in hot water cornbread and just cornbread.
See, it's levels. It's levels. It's levels to this. It's levels to this. Hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Coming up right after this, they'll start hitting some of the highlights from the games. A lot of games going on throughout Central Texas. Wayne and Jalen will be in there giving you the highlights, giving you the scores and everything you need. Keep liking, keep sharing. Let's keep this going. We'll be right back after this, after these messages. Again, you're watching Friday Night Flex. Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in a position to do that.
Pitch hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
On the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Don't back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around. That is your
Going back to into it, it'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Now the Birds coming home to scores Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here, deep right field. It is treetop tall and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Vega. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. The Highlanders walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades. Yeah. Yeah. Rappers really don't want beef with me. Trust me, I can beat you easily. Suckers get DDT'd. I've been swinging for the fences since I was in Little League. I make they nut like a guillotine. Ooh, Langston Hughes with the verses. Hook something like a ring, no. Baby girl, I ain't got time to chase you. I've been chasing dreams, whoa. I'm going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah. I already know if the beat is bananas, it's only right that I go wait on it, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't, ay, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events, we got those on lock too. From concerts to conferences, Lighthouse Streaming and Audio makes your vision shine. Book your appointment now at lighthousestreaming.com or call 254-252-4206 for a free consultation. Let's elevate your event and light up the stage.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Gillis. You may know me from Centex Sports Network. We're starting a new platform, Recruit 254. Our mission is to highlight the amazing student athletes of 254. So if you're in the Waco, Killeen, Temple, Mart, Marlin, or any surrounding 254 areas, follow this platform and join the movement. Recruit 254. 254, let's run it up.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in a position to do that.
Pitch is hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
Too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Don't back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around. That is your
Going back into it, it'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Now the third coming home to score is Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here in right field. It is treetop call and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Vega. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. The Highlanders walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades. Yeah. Yeah. We
Rappers really don't want beef with me. Trust me, I can beat you easily. Suckers get DDT'd. I've been swinging for the fences since I was in Little League. I make they nut like a guillotine. Ooh, Lex and Hughes with the verses. Hook something like a ring, though. Baby girl, I ain't got time to chase you. I've been chasing dreams, whoa. I'm going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah. I already know if the beat is bananas, it's only right that I go wape on it, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't, ay, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah.
This is why you need.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Friday Night Flex. Jalen Gillis still here as we're going to get ready to preview some more of these games. As you folks just saw, we were partaking in a little bit of eating there a second ago. Definitely got a shout out to PJs once again, man. That was some good soul food. If y'all ain't had them, make sure y'all check them out. Y'all saw the number up there. We're going to have them in the description of this video as well, so you guys will be able to check them out, man. PJ's Tabletop and Catering. Check those guys out. Some of the best soul food I done had just now, y'all. Make sure y'all go over there and get them. And the tea, please ask for the tea. Whichever one, we'll get the name of that particular one on here. Please ask for the tea. That tea is off the chain. Let's jump back into some of these games, folks, as some of the teams have already kicked off here so far. We talked about Midway already. Let's preview some more of these games. We got a chance to talk about La Vega as well. But I want to talk about one of the other teams here, the bright spots in this Central Texas area, and that is the China Spring Cougars. China Spring coming off of, like I said on last week's episode, coming off of what they would consider a down year, 2-8 season. But it looks like they're right back in the driving seat and ready to make some things happen, man. I'm super excited to be able to watch this China Spring team. They're kicking off against Bastrop at 7:30. The main reason why I have China Spring winning tonight against Bastrop, even though they are the underdog or the lower classification, is the guy you're seeing on the screen right now, Krishan Gregory, the sophomore running back, who I've already said is the next great China Spring running back. They've had a good list of running backs over the last 7-8 years. This guy is the next really good one and could end up being the best guy. Krishan Gregory, as you see up there, the film doesn't lie. It's not like he's breaking off some small runs or getting lucky every now and then. He's consistently breaking off big runs. Last week against the number 2 team in 3A Division I, the Franklin Lions, who are expected to go back to state again this year. I have them right as one of those teams. He rushed for 337 yards, 4 touchdowns, also caught a pass, took that for 79 yards for a touchdown, giving them over 400 yards of total offense. Krishan Gregory is a monster on the field in that backfield for the China Spring Cougars, man. And that is the main reason why I have China Spring winning tonight versus Bastrop. And not only winning tonight, but they're going to be right there in contention for this district title. For those of you that watch with us, I talk about District 12 and 4A Division II often. They are, I believe, the premier district in 4A Division II and one of the best districts in the entire state of Texas. We're talking about teams like Robinson, La Vega, Connally, China Spring, Gatesville, all in one district, playing against each other, duking it out week in and week out, man. China Spring, one of those teams I have to be able to win that district title. They're right in there contention along with La Vega and Connally, Rob. Really, all those teams are in contention because all of those teams are really quality football teams as well. But this China Spring team is off to a great start. Coach Betty, this is his second year as the head coach. He's been in the China Spring program for some years now. Second year as head coach, getting these guys more comfortable. Their starting quarterback, Jackson Knapp, who's known for his baseball play, but he is stepping up and making some big plays in football as well. Like I said, they're taking on Bastrop. That game is going to kick off at 7:30. Cannot wait to see that one. Let's look at some of the scores that's already happening around this Central Texas area. Waco High and Corsicana. In the first quarter, Waco High down 14-0 against Corsicana. University and Granbury in the first quarter. University up 14-6. We'll come back to talk about the U-Dogs some more in a second. You just heard the caterer in there a second ago talking about her ties to the University Trojans as well. We'll jump back over there and talk about the Trojans in just a second. Belton and Georgetown tied up at 7 apiece in the second quarter right now. Glen Rose and Gatesville. This was another game that I had marked on the calendar for a game I really wanted to see this week. Gatesville and Glen Rose tied at 7 apiece with just about a minute left to go in the first quarter. They're already getting after it. At the end of the first, Robinson up 14-7 against Caldwell. We're going to go back and talk about this Robinson team as well. One of my favorite teams to watch so far this year. Fairfield and Mejia in the first quarter. Fairfield already with a 21-0 lead. They're not playing around, taking on one of their rivals in the Mejia Black Cats. Teague and Toller. Toller up 13-7 versus Teague in the first quarter. Clifton and Coleman mid-first quarter. Clifton up 7-0 on Coleman, playing at home. Early in Hamilton. Hamilton up 7-0 in the first quarter. Bosqueville already up to a 14-0 lead on Milano. Leon jumps out to a 7-0 lead versus Dawson. Valley Mills and Holland, 12-6. Valley Mills up 12-6 in that game. Moody and Heiko already with a 7-0 lead in that first quarter as well. Willow Park, Trinity, and Live Oak late in the first quarter. They're tied at 7 apiece right now. Lots of good games going on, folks. Westbrook and Jonesboro as we go to some six-man. Westbrook up 30-16 in the second quarter on Jonesboro already. Like I said, lots of great games on this slate here for tonight. Not only in the high school level, but on the college level. We'll touch on that a little bit later. And NFL Week 1 is this week as well, so we got to touch some NFL games before we get out of here by the end of the night. Going back over to some of the high school games we just talked about, I want to talk about the University Trojans, who are coming off of a loss last week against Keller Central, who really surprised everybody. They got a twin brother combo out there, receiver and quarterback for Keller Central. That's going to be a problem for the rest of the season. I got a chance to watch a little bit of that game with University and Keller Central last week. They were a big part of University dropping that first game. But they're coming out here now, back on the road again. University, we talked about Midway getting 3 Thursday games in a row. Well, University is getting 3 away games to start the season. They don't even play back at WISD Stadium until week 4. So a tough start for these guys. 0-1 right now, but looking to get back into the win column tonight versus a tough Granbury team that just beat Waco High last week. So they're looking, they're trying to get a sweep coming through WISD. The U-Dogs trying to put a stop to that as they got a 14-6 lead. Last week, weren't able to get their offense going all the way last week. These guys struggled on the offensive end. Their quarterback, Savoy Nichols, threw a couple of picks as he's trying to get into rhythm. They were able to run the ball, ran it for over 150 yards last week between their two running backs. The team was able to rush for 145 yards between Darius Thomas and Ray Brown, both of those guys helping them out, but wasn't able to get the passing game going. We know they got the 4-star receiver in London Smith out there, the Baylor commit. He had 5 catches, but only for 40 yards as he wasn't able to. The entire offense really just wasn't able to get in rhythm. On the defensive side of the ball, Devontae Kirkland had 7 tackles and a sack. The no-fly zone is what they call their DBs for this year. As, like I said last week, this is a DB unit that got 20 interceptions last year. 20 interceptions. They're trying to get back to be able to call themselves a no-fly zone by playing lock-up defense. I expect those guys to come out, rebound this week. Like I said, guys like Joe Quinn Martinez, a linebacker who's been a 3-year starter. Jeremiah Green, who had 7 picks last year. Devontae Kirkland, who's another Baylor commit in their secondary. And then a DN, they got Ronald Derrick, who's committed to Arizona State. I expect these guys to be able to rebound versus this Granbury team. Right now, they're already up 14-6 in this game as we get Wayne back in here at the table with us. Wayne, University dropped a game last week. We talked about it a little bit last week, a game that they were expected to win. You know, you get that wake-up call at the beginning of the year when a lot of times in the summer, all you have is the press clippings and the post you see about yourself. And sometimes it's not the best thing for you going into week 1. But now I know Coach Foster's got these guys locked in. Hey, we've already done it. The first game is over with. It's already a loss. all they can do from here is try to build on that and pick up some wins. What do you think about University and then them playing against Granbury right now up 14-6?
Well, like you said, when you don't play a game and there's a lot being said about you and you have a lot of expectations, you have to go out and meet those expectations. You got to go out and play. You hadn't done anything. So last week, probably a game they probably should have won. Mm-hmm. But now you get a chance to get back to reality, refocus, and go out and play UW football. You can have all the commits and all of that you want to, but you still have to go out and perform. Mm-hmm. And I expect University to come out tonight and to do their thing and to show people why they were expecting a lot of these guys. So I think they'll go out and they'll win tonight. So and like you said, they're up right now 14-6. They're at home, and I think this should be a lopsided score before the night is over with.
Yeah, they're up right now against Granbury. I expect them, like you said, turn this thing around probably in the second quarter, going into that third quarter, man. I expect them to be able to jump out to a pretty big lead in that game. But they're going to get tested against Granbury. Granbury is a team they're 1-0. They're feeling themselves. They're just coming off a win against Waco High. They're thinking they can come to Waco and get 2 wins. The U-Dogs trying to put a stop to that right now. Seems like they're off to a good start being able to do it. I want to go over to a game in Robinson taking place right now. Robinson and Caldwell, both 2 really good teams, both undefeated so far in the year. Tied up at 14 apiece at the start of the second quarter. This Robinson team has one of the better offenses in the state of Texas, in this greater Waco area for sure. They've got a couple of players that I really like, one of them being the guy you see up there on the screen right now, Evan Marino, coming off a game over 200 yards. This is a guy that was right up there for leading rusher in Central Texas last year. This guy was a monster on the field. They run their offense almost through him. We saw him last week as they got a win over West, rushing for another 224 yards. But they got another guy at that quarterback spot that is starting to become one of my favorites in this Central Texas era, and that's Bryce McCurdy, man. Bryce McCurdy is a guy that's been getting a lot of attention. He's got offers from a multitude of schools now. UNT, U of H, Texas State has offered this guy. Ole Miss has thrown in their offer as well. A multitude of schools have offered him from different conferences. Him, along with Evan Marino, with that true running game, has created what can be a dangerous backfield. Also, Medlock out there at receiver, he had a really good game last week as well. Seeing all these guys being able to put this together for the Robinson Rockets really has me excited for this Robinson team. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in this Central Texas area. If they can continue to put it all together, Coach Kevin Brown, who was hired earlier this year, he's got coaching experience at UTSA, Texas State, all of these different places. And he's a guy that's from this Central Texas area. He's a guy that was a super Centex player when he was at Midway playing some years back, man. So he knows what it takes to be able to be successful in this Waco area. He knows what it's like to play out there on those Friday nights. So far, he's been able to translate it through his players. Robinson is one of my favorite teams to watch in this Waco area. Right now in a battle, tied 14 apiece with Caldwell. Wayne, what do you think about this Robinson squad?
Well, like you said, I mean, they're led by their offense, their quarterback, and their great receiver. I mean, and their great running back, Moreno. Man, Robinson is one of those teams that plays in the same district with La Vega and China Springs, so you know they're going to be tough. And they bring back a lot of players from last year that I think was a playoff team last year. So bringing a new coach, but the expectations don't change. They just only expand and they get bigger. So look for Robinson to do some big things. And they're playing at home tonight, right? And so,
playing at home.
Playing a tough Caldwell team because Caldwell is always tough.
Always.
But like you say, I expect big things out of Robinson as well. The district that they play in prepares them for everything. So I think they'll come out victorious tonight as well. So looking for big things from Robinson.
To get a score update, at the top of the second quarter, Robinson goes up 21-14 on Caldwell. It's going to be tough to stop that offense. Caldwell's a team that's really good as well. They're coming off a victory last week. They're feeling themselves. They're thinking, hey, we can go out here and get a win. But stopping this offense for Robinson is going to be a tough task for anybody that plays them this year, especially as they get into district play, as Wayne just teed up and talked about. They got to play La Vega. They got to play Robinson. They got to play China Spring. They got to play Connally. They got to play Gatesville, who's also in a battle right now against Glen Rose. Man, this Robinson team can do a lot. They're going to get tested as they get in the district, but that's what makes District 12 so fun to watch, especially in the Central Texas area. Most of our premier teams in Central Texas are in that District 12 and 4A Division II, man. So Robinson, another one of those teams that I'm excited to watch this year. We'll be checking in on this score. This might be a shootout. We're already we're only a minute into the second quarter and 21-14, Wayne. These guys, it's looking like
all offense.
It's looking like Philly and Dallas last night with all offense. Neither one of those guys got stopped in the first half. So far, this Robinson and Caldwell team both looking for their first stops as well. Go over to keep it right here in the District 12 4A as we get ready to go to Gatesville versus Glen Rose. This Gatesville team is another team that I'm really excited to be able to watch for this upcoming season. Gatesville last year, I don't want to say caught some people by surprise, but they caught a couple people by surprise, caught some guys off guard because they had a really good year last year to start for their season. This is a team that was very competitive in what I said is one of the toughest districts in the state. Now taking on a tough Glen Rose team. Glen Rose is traditionally always a really good team. They're always able to run the ball very well and have a really explosive offense. Gatesville in the battle with those guys getting towards the bottom of the first quarter. Gatesville has a really good offense. They've got a quarterback that I'm excited to watch this year that's put up numbers last year, that's continuing to put up numbers so far this year as well. This Gatesville offense has been humming. They lose Smith, their running back from last year, who was the leading rusher in all of Central Texas, rushing for 2,000 yards, I believe, in high school, man. So he had a phenomenal year. They're trying to replace him, and so far they're doing a good job. Their quarterback, Gary Keaton, last week threw for 314 yards, 4 touchdowns as well. Then their running back that took over for Smith, Samuel Howard, 84 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns last week. And then Amos Phillips, their receiver, and a guy that they get in a lot on the defensive side. 6 catches, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. This Gatesville offense can go. This is a team that can go. They're going to put up points this year. It's going to go through their quarterback, Keaton. He is already starting off the season great. Taking on a Glen Rose team in another game that I expect to kind of lean towards a shootout as we get further and further in this game. Right now they're tied up at 7 apiece. These are two traditionally good teams, Wayne, and we're talking about teams like Gatesville and teams like Glen Rose. What do you expect out of this matchup tonight as they're tied up at 7 apiece?
Well, Glen Rose is a team that went to the playoffs last year, so you know they battle tested, and they're going to come in and they're going to play hard. Gatesville is, like I always mention, they're another one of those teams that play in that district with La Vega and Robinson and China Springs, so you know they're battle tested, and they're going to be tough. And, they got good quarterback play at Gatesville. So,
yes, they do.
A great preseason non-district game that's going on. So these guys are trying to get ready for the season. But I expect Gatesville to be tough this year in that district. And Glen Rose is always tough. So that's going to be a good game out in Gatesville tonight.
Yeah, Glen Rose always a really tough team. Tough out. Got a chance to watch them or do some of their games live a few times when we were covering the cadets. And they've always got athletes. You can expect them to run the ball. You can expect guys to be playing two ways, making plays on both sides of the ball. Gatesville is the same thing. Almost everybody you see on their offense, they're going to be out there on the defense too, out there trying to make plays as well.
Yeah.
When you got two teams that's doing that, that makes it be very competitive because you don't have to wait to try to see a guy in the next series.
Right.
As soon as you get back out there after kickoff, the guy you were just into it with, you got to play him again and go back across him again, man. So that's going to be a really fun matchup between those two teams right now, tied at 7 apiece. Want to go over to Lacey Lakeview, the Connally Cadets, their season opener at home, taking on a Lago Vista team that is undefeated as well. Both teams coming into this game 1-0. The Cadets, they've got athletes. Again, this is a team year in and year out we're used to seeing have top-notch athletes out there on the field. This is another year with the same thing. Everybody knows one of their top guys in Jamari and Vincent, another Baylor commit that's a 4-star corner, one of the highest-rated players, the highest-rated player in the Waco area, committed to Baylor University out there. Last week, coming off a game, 5 catches, 125 yards, and a couple touchdowns Also got a fumble, a couple tackle for losses on the defensive side of the ball as well. So he does it all. But one of their main guys that doesn't, I don't want to say doesn't get a lot of recognition, that maybe not doesn't get as much recognition as some of the others, is Braden Ford, their running back. This is a guy that rushed for 1,200 yards last year coming in, and it's a tough spot to be in playing running back at Connally following the acts of Trey Wisner, of Kiefer Sibley, of Javion Sunday. Yeah. These are all top-tier guys that were blue-chip prospects coming out of Connally. Now, Braden Ford picks that right up, rushed for 1,200 yards. And then this past Friday, as Connally was able to get a win over Academy, rushes for 174 yards on just 15 carries. This is a guy that's explosive when he touches the football, that can make plays every time he touches it out there. Braden Ford, along with Jamarian Vincent, and a few other playmakers they have out there on the field as well. Linville is another one of those guys. C.J. Evans is another one of those guys. This Connally team can really go. Right now they're taking on a Lago Vista team that's undefeated. They're up 8-0 against Lago Vista. But the Cadets are going to be another tough out as they get into district play as well. Wayne, what do you think about the Cadets so far this year?
Man, they're looking great. I mean, you say you got a guy that rushed for 180-something yards last week, and he goes unnoticed. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I don't want you to notice me until I get out there and get to running over you, and 150 yards later. That's when I want to be noticed. But, Connally, another one of those teams that's going to be tough, man. I mean, we keep talking about their district. I can't stress enough, man, that from top to bottom, probably one of the toughest districts in the whole state in their division. Yeah. So they're going to be tough. They're going to have athletes, especially at the skill positions, defensive back, running back, quarterback, linebackers. They're going to be big. They're going to be fast, and they're going to have athletes that can go up and get the ball and guys that can run the ball.
Yeah, the Cadets are a well-coached team. Coach Garrick been the head coach out there for a few years now, trying to just get to that next hump. This Connally team always is very talented, gets to the playoffs traditionally over the last 5, 6, 7 years, but just hasn't been able to get over that hump. This is a real gritty team. I like this team a lot. At them adding in Kaufman at quarterback gives them another dimension. This is a team that traditionally runs the ball a lot. Last week we saw them come right out the gate, and they're throwing the football. So I'm excited to see what this Connally team can do against Lago Vista. Right now, up 8-0. Folks, China Spring game has just kicked off a few minutes ago. Bastrop right now with the 7-0 lead over the China Spring Cougars. I believe they got the ball first, and they scored first. But now they got to try to stop this dynamic offense of the China Spring Cougars. We just got done talking about China Spring. Krishawn Gregory, a guy that just came off a 400-yard game. 400-yard game. Y'all heard it right. On just a few carries. He only had, I believe, 23 carries in that game and one catch, and his one catch went for an 80-yard touchdown. When you got a guy like that can go, they're going to be able to make plays all the time. Their young quarterback, Jackson Knapp, a guy that's known mostly for his play on the baseball field, but he's a guy that can make a lot of plays out here on the football field as well as the Cougars looking to get back out here and try to take this lead against Bastrop. They're punching up. We see this with China Spring. We see this with La Vega a lot. They don't mind playing up a division, Wayne. They'll go up and play Bastrop, I believe, in 5A Division II. They'll go up and play these guys. We see La Vega do it a lot. Next week they'll play West Orange Stark. They're above these guys, so they don't mind reaching up and playing.
Well, when you play one of the toughest districts, that's why you want to go play a non-district schedule that's tough. Because you're trying to get ready for district. You're trying to gain experience with the younger players that you have so they'll be ready for those Friday nights.
Yeah.
Because those are big games. And you can only take 3 teams. I think 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah, four teams.
Yeah, so, I mean, with China Spring, La Vega, Connally, Gatesfield, it's only 4 spots, man. Robinson. It's only 4 spots. So, man, we vying for one of those spots. And like I said, from top to bottom, probably one of the toughest districts. So what you do is you go out and get these guys that didn't play last year, that doesn't have experience. You play these non-district games so they can gain experience. And they'll be ready for their district, which is just as tough a district as any. So
when you playing at a traditional powerhouse school, and Wayne, you got to play at AJ Moore, Jefferson Moore, that eventually ended up turning into
Jalen. You trying to take me way back? AJ Moore, you trying to take me way back? But no, I played at Jefferson Moore.
Yeah.
Which turned into Waco High, but we were a traditional team that went to the playoffs. So
absolutely.
I understand what you're saying.
Every single year, when you have that on your back, does that create extra added pressure, or does it almost ease it up for you and let you know, hey man, this is what we do at the school, so it's not an extra added pressure. It's just another year of doing what we're used to doing.
Like we always discuss, and we always discuss on the show. People have expectations of it, but you have to go out and meet them. So when I went to school, it was expected of us to go to the playoffs and make some noise some kind of way. So that was expected. So you're gonna go out and you're gonna play for that. You're gonna go play for that. So that's what you have to do. So when you one of them traditional powers, it's expected. It's expected from you. It's expected from your family. It's expected from your school, your community, and the whole city that you live in. You know, it wasn't one time that you can say, hey, man, we fighting for a playoff berth. No, we gonna be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude that you got to have when you play football. You got to know that, hey, we're going to get in the playoffs, whatever it takes, whatever we have to do. And those are the expectations you have to have for yourself and your team. Your team have to meet their expectations because they're the only one playing. The community can think what they want to. Everybody else can think what they want to, but it's got to be you. It's got to be you that go out and do it as a football team.
Yeah, you got to go out and almost keep up that tradition. You feel that it's not much of a pressure, but it's almost like, hey, we just got to keep going what's already been built here. China Spring is one of those teams that's like that. La Vega is one of those teams that's like that. When you go out there, you're saying you see all the district banners, you see the regional banners and stuff like that. It was like that when I was at Midway. You see all this stuff and you just, hey man, all we got to do is keep up what's already been happening and when the foundation that's already been laid for us by the former players as well.
Yeah, when you walk by the trophy case every day.
Yeah,
and
every day.
You see those trophies, and then you go in the gym and you see those banners. You know, that's expected. You want to add your name to that mix. You want to be a part of something special, but in order for you to be a part of something special, you have to go do it on the field.
Yeah, you got to go out there and do it on the field and keep it up. Right now, China Spring in a tough battle. We were looking over at that game with this Bastrop team. This is going to be no easy out for the China Spring Cougars, but as I teed up yesterday on Centex Primetime, playing at China Spring, that's a fun environment to go to for those of y'all that haven't been to a China Spring game in a while, as Bastrop punts it back over to China Spring for them to try to take over right now, 7-6, with China Spring down by just a point in that game. When you play out there, that's a fun environment. When they score, they set the horns off. They turn the lights out. They got a light machine out there. They turn the lights out and get it going. And it's an environment that can be intimidating for an opposing team.
Exactly.
I've been on that opposite sideline a couple of times covering some games playing against the China Spring team. When that crowd gets to going and they start to turn the lights off and their band gets to going out there, they have a really great band out there at China Spring as well. Man, it can be a tough environment to play in.
Yeah. When you go out there, you got to be ready. So if you hadn't seen that before as a player and you're an opposing player coming in, that could be intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, you cutting out the lights and you got all kinds of stuff going off, man. It's almost like going to Texas A&M, which is one of the toughest environments I ever played in. You know, when you got these guys rocking in the stands and the whole stadium is just rocking, man, and then they got this big cannon that shoots off and people doing. I mean, some places can be intimidating to play, and China Springs is one of those places.
Yeah, they got a great home environment. And Wayne, I've only had a chance to go to A&M Stadium once. This is back when Baylor was still in the Big 12. And first off, they dog walked Baylor in that game. They had Ryan Swopes and Ryan Tannehill and all those guys. So they had some real deal dogs out there. But I was a guy, I've never really been an A&M fan like that. And I had been to a couple of stadiums, and I'm like, man, the 12th man, what do they keep talking about? The 12th man, the 12th. Man, it can't be that serious. Man, when I got in that stadium and I tell you could feel the crowd cheering in your chest, I said, okay,
and the
hold
cannon
on, y'all.
goes off,
and that cannon goes off, and nobody told me about the cannon.
Yeah,
so I get to looking dumb and start ducking. I don't know what's going on out there. I just hear this loud noise. Texas A&M, hey, man, I had to learn about that 12th man the hard way.
Yeah. I've been there twice, and each time, the first time I went, it wasn't it was so intimidating that it didn't make no sense. The second time I went, it wasn't that bad because I already knew what to expect. But if you don't know what to expect and you go there, it's very intimidating. And that's just like China Springs. If you don't know what to expect and you go there and that's what you're gonna get, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna get an experience that you've never experienced before in high school football.
Yeah, China Spring, they definitely know how to do it out there. They're part of Waco, but they almost secluded. They got literally they have their own fan base. They have their own everything out there in China Spring, and they support Friday night football. I'm telling y'all, the town shuts down. You're not gonna be able. You can't go over to Griff's and get you a plate when China Spring is playing because the town is gonna be shut down out there.
You can eat catfish.
Griff's on Friday night. You know a little bit about that Griff's, man.
You can't go out there. The place is rocking, man.
Yeah, they have a rocket out there at China Springs. Shout out to the Cougars, man, right now, like I said, in the battle, playing against Bastrop as well. A couple of quick score updates before we go into our break, folks. Corsicana up 20-0 right now on Waco High. Wayne, we talked about this Waco High team last year. This is going to be a work in progress. Coach Martinez, this is his first year under helm, and this is not just taking over a team. He's trying to revamp a team as the school district is trying to revamp this team as well. We just saw, well, a lot of you guys saw, Waco High's got a brand new building. They've got brand new facilities in there. They've got state-of-the-art stuff everywhere in that school. And I think that is eventually going to start to draw more kids and going to get guys to say, hey, man, I want to go and play at Waco High and continue that great legacy. We just got done talking about the legacy of some of these other teams. What do you think, in your opinion, some of the things Waco High has to do in order to start turning this thing around? They were a traditional powerhouse for a long, long time. And like most powerhouses, they have the time where they tail off before they get back on the track. Right now, they're in that tail off era at Waco High. But they're trying to turn things around up there. What are some of those things they got to do to be able to turn this around over at Waco High?
Well, you have to get, first of all, I think they hired the right coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach
so
Martinez.
He has to reset the culture of them being a traditional team that wins. Like you have to preach winning, and it starts in the junior highs.
Yeah.
So you set the coach in the junior highs, and then when those guys come up, then they'll be ready to play football. But he has to reset the culture. You have to get the right players in, and you just have to believe. You have to believe in yourself as a coach that you can get that done. And like I said, I've talked to Coach Martinez, and I think he's a great guy, and I think he will get it done. It's going to take time. It's going to take time because they lose a lot of players. They lost a lot of players at university, especially in Waco when you get to choose whatever school you want to.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to choose a winner. Well, it only takes one or two good players to come over there and set that culture and get you on the right track. And then once you get those two players over there, then you'll start to see a difference. And I think you will start to see a difference. I think they'll take their lumps this year because it is a new coach over there. And you just return something, and these players playing in a whole different system from what they played in last year. And so it's going to take a minute for Waco High to be relevant, but they're going to get it done. Believe me, they are.
Yeah, it's going to take a second for them to be able to turn this around. And you brought up a great point. It starts in the junior high and at the lower division levels. I remember back when we were covering Connally a few years ago, when we first started covering them, they kept saying, man, our seventh grade team is really good. We got a really good middle school team. They were good as a little league team. Now they're in middle school, they're winning. They moved on to 8th grade. They were still winning.
Yeah.
Well, that class turned out to be Kobe Black, Jelani McDonald, Kiefer Sibley, all these guys, Trey Wise, all these guys ended up playing at the next level. And they kept saying, man, we got a middle school team. Why they had stars already. They had Corey Black, who's now playing on the Giants. They had JV Sunday, who went on to play at Washington University. So I'm like, man, y'all got a good group of guys right now. Y'all telling me it's some more kids coming? And you see what those kids turn out to. University, they're a team that was struggling for years, for a long time. Now they're in that turnaround stage. And we saw all these guys that are playing right now. I watched them play about 5-6 years ago for the Southern Panthers. Cleo Kirkland runs a great program out there with the Southern Panthers, man. And he has streamlined a direct pipeline of football guys straight from Southern. All those guys are playing. Only guy that was on that team I remember that's not playing for them is Jamarian Vincent, who's over at Connally, who was also on that Southern Panthers team. But they had a really good squad, and they said, man, we got a good 10U team. Oh, we got a really good 12U team. Now we're watching these guys on Friday nights being able to make plays. That's where it's got to start for Waco High. They've got to do the groundwork, and I believe they're already doing it. Like you said, Coach Martinez, I do believe is the guy for the job. He's got years of coaching experience. He was the interim coach at Midway when they were trying to turn their season around, and he was able to get them to the playoffs as they had some struggling years. I expect him to be able to turn that same thing around this year as well. As it looks like China Springs just scored over there against Bastrop, and Wayne, you've seen the light show. I told you about, man. When they score, they get it going over there at China Springs, man. So
they got a big pick. They got a pick down on their own 20-yard line, and then the next play from the line of scrimmage, they run it in.
Yeah.
So now they're about to go up 6 points, I think, because it's 12-7 now. So if they can make this field goal, it'll be up by 6. And they're still in the first quarter. So
yeah.
So
that one looked like it's going to be a shootout as well.
That was a big turnover and a great interception I just seen. So, man, China Springs at home.
Yeah, China Springs, they're a tough team to beat at home, and they played this Bastrop team last year. Like I said, China Springs only had 2 wins last year. Bastrop was one of their 2 wins they got last year. I know Bastrop remembers that because they're a playoff team. They're trying to get their lick back against this China Springs team. But China Springs, man, looks like they really got the ball rolling again this year. Coach Betty, as I said, his second year as the head coach, but he's been in the program for multiple years. He's been in the program and was a part of those state championship teams. So he knows the expectation.
Yeah.
He was able to see the culture that the Bells set, because there was multiple Bells that was the head coach out there back-to-back years. The standard that those guys set, Coach Betty looks like he's picking right up where they left off, man. So China Springs right now up 12-7. Folks, we got to get into a break. When we come back, we'll get you some more information about these games before these teams go into halftime. A lot of teams enter in halftime. I'll give you guys a score update. And, of course, we got to talk about some college football. Tomorrow is Saturday. That means it's college football. Your Baylor Bears are going to be going up to Dallas to play SMU. So we'll talk about that and some more of those games as well. So stay locked in with us right here on Friday Night Flex. We're going to be right back after this short break.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events, we got those on lock too. From concerts to conferences, Lighthouse Streaming and Audio makes your vision shine. Book your appointment now at lighthousestreaming.com or call 254-252-4206 for a free consultation. Let's elevate your event and light up the stage.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, founder and CEO of Lighthouse Streaming. Over the last 4 years, we've had some tremendous successes, none of which could have been accomplished without you, our clients, and our viewers. From my family and the staff of Lighthouse Streaming, thank you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Gillis. You may know me from Centex Sports Network. We're starting a new platform, Recruit 254. Our mission is to highlight the amazing student athletes of 254. So if you're in the Waco, Killeen, Temple, Mart, Marlin, or any surrounding 254 areas, follow this platform and join the movement. Recruit 254. 254, let's run it up.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events, we got those on lock too. From concerts to conferences, Lighthouse Streaming and Audio makes your vision shine. Book your appointment now at lighthousestreaming.com or call 254-252-4206 for a free consultation. Let's elevate your event and light up the stage.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, founder and CEO of Lighthouse Streaming. Over the last 4 years, we've had some tremendous successes, none of which could have been accomplished without you, our clients, and our viewers. From my family and the staff of Lighthouse Streaming, thank you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Gillis. You may know me from Centex Sports Network. We're starting a new platform, Recruit 254. Our mission is to highlight the amazing student athletes of 254. So if you're in the Waco, Killeen, Temple, Mart, Marlin, or any surrounding 254 areas, follow this platform and join the movement. Recruit 254. 254, let's run it up.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network. Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in the position to do that.
Pitch hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
Too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planet's alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Going back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around. That is your
Going back to hit to it, it'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Now the third coming home to score is Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
Hits this one in the air, in right field. It is treetop tall and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hit gets the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Boca. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. And the Highlanders walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades.
Hello and welcome back into Friday Night Flex. Jalen Gillis still here, joined by Wayne Walker as we get ready to go through some more of these games. Folks, we want to thank everybody that's tuning in with us so far. I know a lot of you guys are tuning in and out as you are traveling to a game or headed back from a game or trying to just tune in and catch some of the games wherever you're at. Friday Night Flex is the place for you, as we're just going to keep you guys updated on scores and what's going on throughout the Central Texas area. Before we jump back into it, give you guys a quick updates on some of the scores that are going around as we're getting close to halftime. It's about to be halftime in a lot of these places. Some places are already at halftime. Temple and Round Rock at the end of the first quarter. Round Rock with an 8-6 lead over the Temple Wildcats. That can end up being a big game, especially playing in that district with Midway and all those other guys, Harker Hyde, Shoemaker. Corsicana and Waco High as they get ready to go to halftime. 20-7 is Waco High trying to start their comeback. They got to score up on the board, seeing how far they can go from there. University and Granbury. University with a 21-6 lead as they near halftime as well. We've seen the U-Dogs starting to get that offense going. Too many playmakers on that offense to be able to keep that offense down for too long. Belton and Georgetown in a battle right now. 21-20 lead as Belton has got the narrow lead going at halftime. And another I-35 battle there with Belton and Georgetown. Lake Belton and Round Rock McNeil played last night. As I said earlier, Round Rock McNeil got the win over Lake Belton 34-28. China Spring and Bastrop, 13-7 lead still for the China Spring Cougars, taking on a tough Bastrop team. Connally still with an 8-0 lead over Lago Vista, just a couple of minutes out of halftime, playing over there at Mac Peoples Stadium in Lacey Lakeview. Gatesville starting to put a wedge between them and Glen Rose. 21-7 lead for Gatesville as they near halftime. This Gatesville team, I keep telling y'all, I don't want to keep calling them a sleeper every single week, but they caught me off guard last year. This year, I'm not getting caught off guard. This Gatesville team is for real in that District 12 and 4A. La Vega and Salina have not kicked off yet because they have a delay out there, rain delay in Salina, looking like a replay of last night with Philly and the Cowboys. Man, I almost didn't make it to that fourth quarter, Wayne. You know, I get up pretty early in the morning, so as we start creeping into that 11:30, 11:45, I said, okay, somebody go make a play because I don't know if I'm going to stay up too much longer.
Exactly.
But La Vega and Salina in a rain delay right now for what is going to be one of the top matchups for this entire week. Lorena and Malakoff. Malakoff up to a 14-0 lead. Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about this Lorena team, but they're another team with a very explosive offense. It's early in the second quarter right now as they're trailing 14-0 against Malakoff, but do not count this Lorena team out. They can put up points quickly. They've got a great trio out there, running back, quarterback, and receiver as well, so don't expect this team to stay scoreless for long. The Robinson Rockets, Wayne, we talked about these guys earlier and their explosive offense. Well, it's on display right now. They're up 35-14. We just checked in on this game a few minutes ago, y'all. It was tied at 14 apiece. We're getting close to halftime, a few minutes away from halftime. They've already blown this one open, up 35-14 against this Caldwell team. West and Addison Trinity Christian. West, a team that struggled last week, playing against this Robinson team we just talked about. Well, we know West can put up points in a bunches too. They're up 42-0 on Addison Trinity as they're going near halftime as well. Whitney dropped a game last night against Fort Worth Benbrook, playing up a division as well, but Whitney was in this game the entire time. They lost 52-48. Whitney's offense, very, very explosive. They got a three-star receiver out there in Kobe Haynes, a guy that put up over 200 yards last week. I'll look to see what his box score was from this past game yesterday. But they dropped the game 48-52 against Fort Worth Benbrook. McGregor and Grosbeck in a battle right now. Grosbeck with a narrow 7-6 lead over McGregor. Fairfield and Mejia. Fairfield has blown this one open in the second quarter, up 42-0 against the Mejia Black Cats. Fairfield not playing around right now. That's almost a cousin rivalry.
Yeah, that's a rivalry.
Fairfield and Mejia, they right up on each other out there. Teague and Toller. Teague, another team that's right in that same area we just got done talking about with Mejia and Fairfield. Right now, Teague trailing against Toller 13-6 in the second quarter. Cameron Yo taking on Sealy. Sealy up 21-0 against the Yeomen right now. Sealy playing at home. Troy, another team that's got a really explosive offense. Last year we watched them put up some huge numbers. This year looks like they're picking up where they left off. Taking on the Hillsborough team, coming off a win last week, but right now Troy up 21-0 as they go into halftime. Clifton and Coleman. Clifton with a 14-7 lead over Coleman as we get into some of the lower levels here. Hamilton with a 28-0 lead over Early. Axtell and Cairns played last night. Cairns with a 20-14 victory over Axtell. Bosqueville up big right now, 21-0 at halftime, taking on Milano. Leon and Dawson. Leon's got a 7-0 lead over Dawson. Frost up 14-0 on Itasca. Valley Mills and Holland in a shootout right now is what it looks like. Valley Mills up 32-27 as they go into halftime. Marlin dropped the game last night over Honey Grove 40-7 as they played in Corsicana. One of my matchups I was looking forward to this week, Crawford and Centerville in a battle right now. Crawford up 6-0 on Centerville. Bruceville Eddy and Barlett. Barlett with a 14-0 lead over Bruceville Eddy. Heiko up 22-6 on Moody. Rosebud Lot up 28-0 taking on Thrall. Bremond, another team we expect to go back to state this year, up 20-7 against Grapeland. The Chilton Pirates team is playing in that 2A Division II, but they are extremely tough. Chilton coming off of really 3 or 4 really good years back to back to back. They're up 38-0 taking on Italy. They're playing upper division as well, taking on Italy. They're up 38-0 in that game. Hubbard up 49-0 on McDade. Mart and Maypearl. Maypearl up 12-0 on the Mart Panthers. Malakoff Crossroads up 20-0 on Meridian. And as we go into some six-man football, Pernell Witt taking on Aquila. Aquila up 22-0. We don't talk much about Aquila, but they've been a powerhouse in six-man football for a very long time in this Waco area. They're up 22-0 in the first quarter. Coolidge and the Methodist Home. Coolidge up 24-6. Golson and Trinidad. Trinidad up 23-12 on Golson right now. Westbrook taking on Jonesboro. They're up 50-16 in the third quarter. And Morgan got a win yesterday over Covington, 61-14. Lots of great games going on in the Central Texas area, folks. A lot of these teams starting to put that wedge in, second quarter, going into the third quarter is where the teams start to separate. First quarter, everybody, the first couple of drives are scripted. You're doing what you've done in practice all week. But as the punches start to fly, they get into that second quarter. Looking at Robinson and Caldwell, Robinson's offense is taking off 35-14. Looking at Gatesville and Glen Rose, Gatesville's offense is taking off as they're up 21-7. Wayne, we just talked about this Robinson team and their explosive offense. Yeah. They've almost put up a 40-piece on this Caldwell team in just the first half, man. This offense can really go out there in Robinson. When you've got a quarterback and running back duo like they have and then throw in Medlock at receiver, it's tough to stop these guys. This is what we expected Robinson to do in this game.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. We was talking a while ago, and it was 14-14. And you turn back 30 minutes later, and it's 41-14.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what we expected. I figured it would be a lopsided kind of game, and especially at home. When you're playing at home, it gives you a certain sense of confidence that you can go out and get the job done. And like you said, in that first quarter, people kind of feeling each other out, and you're trying to figure out what you can really do, and you're seeing what you can really do. And then that second quarter, it just kind of takes off, and then you kind of explode, and you have it figured out at that point, and then that's when you start to see the scores increase. And so, especially on a team that a loaded team like Robinson, a team like Robinson that's loaded. For sure, you're gonna see them explode, and you're gonna see them like that lopsided victory, that lopsided score, like it is 40-something to 14 now.
Yeah, that Robinson team is. You got to try to get to them early. You can't keep those guys down when they got an offense like that. Bastrop and China Springs in what is a really tough battle right now. 14-13 lead for Bastrop is there in the second quarter. That's going to be a great game, and we'll check it in on throughout the rest of the night. This Gatesville offense, they got it going against Glen Rose. This was a really big matchup between these two teams. A lot of people in the Central Texas area were looking to key in on this Gatesville offense. Like I said a second ago, can't keep calling these guys sleepers, man. They're doing it consistently week in and week out. They did it last year consistently week in and week out. They were a team that was picked to finish towards the bottom of that District 12 in 4A Division II. Now they're a team that we're starting to look at the top. They've got a quarterback that can go. They've got a running back that can go. All of these guys are playing both ways on their offense and defense. Gatesville looking like they're going to be a tough out as they get into district play further and further, man, taking on what is a really tough Glen Rose team. University starting to put that wedge in, as we just said. They're up 28-6 against Granbury as they go into halftime. Last week, we talked about earlier, they struggled against Keller Central. Now, offense starting to click. You start to get more comfortable. Does it feel like you're almost getting that monkey off your back, Wayne, whenever you know the offense can go, but now you start to put together a touchdown on this drive, touchdown on the next drive? Does it start to ease up some of that pressure and say, okay, we ready to play football now?
Yeah, and like I say, you start to figure it out. First half, you get a feel for your opponent. Players, you get a feel for what's across from you, across the line of scrimmage from you, and so you get this feeling for it, and then you figure out what you can really do and what you can really be successful at, and then you start to relax as you know that, hey, I can beat this opponent. So then you start to take advantage of the things that you can do, and then you start doing that, and then that's how that score gets inflated, and now, like you say, it's 28-6. So, yeah, but this is what you expect out of University. This is what we expect last week. But like you said, they had some flaws last week. They didn't play up to par, but now you have to refocus and you have to go back out and you have to reestablish yourself and make sure and make sure that you're taking care of business on the field.
Yeah, you got to just take care of your business out there. You know that the plays will come. When you got the amount of talent that these guys have, 4 or 5 guys that are already committed to schools and guys that have more offers coming on the way, you know you can go out there and score. It's about just actually putting the pen to paper and going out there and actually making these plays, man. It looks like University is doing that as they got a 28-6 lead going into halftime. Lots of great games going on around the Central Texas area, folks. I want to jump over and talk about some of the games that are going to happen on Saturday, folks. College football, we got a great week 1 last week. Week 1 lived up to the hype. We had the Texas-Ohio State. They ended up being a great game. We had the Miami and Notre Dame game that came all the way down to the last drive. We had the LSU-Clemson game that came all the way down to the last drive. Now as we go into week 2, we know a little bit more about these teams now. I want to tee up the team that's plays right down the street from here at McLean Stadium in the Baylor Bears. Last week, Wayne, you saw the writing on the wall. You said, I don't think this Baylor team's going to be able to stop the run like that against this Auburn team in the trenches. That's exactly what happened as Auburn came out and rushed for over 200 yards last week against Baylor. Now they get a switch of styles, but still another dynamic offense as they're going to take on this SMU Mustangs team, led by their quarterback Kevin Jennings, who went to SOC. We talked a little bit about SOC versus Duncanville that's going on right now. He's a guy that got SOC their first state championship in years. Now he's playing at SMU, got them to the first ever college football playoffs. Now they're looking to have another great season. They're coming off a win last week against East Texas A&M. Almost called them A&M Commerce. They switched over now. East Texas A&M. They got a win against them last week. Now taking on Baylor, coming off a loss against Auburn. But their offense looked pretty good throughout that game. Their offense was able to do some of the things they wanted to do. We got a chance to see their stable of great pass catchers. Michael Trigg, a tight end, who's a big target to transfer from Ole Miss, who had over 90 yards. We saw Ashton Hawkins get in. We saw Cole Wilson, the transfer, get in on the action. That Kobe Prentice got a touchdown to transfer from Alabama. Josh Cameron got some touches out there. I think this is gearing up towards a shootout at 11 o'clock tomorrow, Wayne, between these two teams. Two offensive powerhouses, SMU ranked number 17 in the country. What can we expect to see out this Baylor-SMU game tomorrow?
Exactly what you just said. Yeah. Do you know who the number 1 passer in the country is right now?
Who's that?
Right over at Baylor.
Yeah, Sawyer Robinson, over 400 yards.
Yeah. He's the number 1 passer in the country right now. So you said it. And what you were talking about, it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shootout. You go from a dull offense in Auburn that likes to run the ball and likes to, run the balls between the tackles to a team that's fast, explosive, and likes to get the ball outside. And then you got a dynamic quarterback that can run better than the one that you played last week.
Yeah.
And then on Baylor's side, you got a a multitude of guys that can get it done. They got good running backs. They got good skills. So it's going to be a shootout. If I don't know what the over and under is on this game.
64.5. It keep every time we check in, it's going up and up and up. It says 64.5 right now.
Well, man, I can see 40 points on each side of the ball.
Definitely.
Because I don't know what kind of defense SMU has, but I seen Baylor. Baylor. They didn't get tested last week in the passing game, but they will be tested this week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're going.
And the run game.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what kind of defenses these two teams have, but I can tell you what type of offenses these guys have, and I mean, the ball is going to be in the air. They're going to be spinning it tomorrow, and like I say, it wouldn't surprise me if each one of these teams scored 40 points.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by that. The total keeps going up, but I'm still tempted to take the over on the total at 64.5 points, man.
No doubt.
These guys are going to let the ball fly. SMU's got a pretty decent secondary, but they lost a lot of guys in their front seven last year to the draft and guys that graduated as well. So they're looking to rebound from that. But they got a good pair of safeties out there. They got some decent corners as well. But the main thing SMU has is speed. It's a big switch of styles because last week was a power offense that they faced against Auburn. Now you're starting to get some finesse as they're taking this SMU team on, and like you talked about, the quarterback was able to rush for 120 yards last week with Jackson Arnold. This is a guy that's a way more effective runner at the quarterback spot than Kevin Jennings. You can't break the contain like they broke contain last week against Auburn. If you do, that'll be the death of this Baylor team in this game. You can't let this guy get out and break contain. You've got to try to find a way. It's going to be almost whoever gets the most stops in this one is going to be the winner.
Exactly. And then you talk about the quarterback position. This guy's way more athletic.
Yes.
He can spin it, and he can run it. And you got guys that can catch the ball. You got running back. Your skill positions are just as good as Baylor's are. And so, like you say, it's going to be a shootout, man. I'm anxious to see that game. I really want to see what Baylor defense can do because they're going to be tested. They're going to be tested. Then you take a team that was in the Final Four last year in SMU that has those same type of expectations, and you playing a team like Baylor, and you're going to be tested. And so this game will go a long ways for SMU if they can go and they can shut that Baylor's offense down. If they can't shut this Baylor's offense down, then you probably won't see them in that Final Four again this year.
Yeah, if they got to shut Baylor's defense down or offense down this week, because as you said, last year they were able to get into that college football playoffs. You're not going to be able to get into the playoffs this year with a couple losses coming out the ACC. The ACC, as we talked about on Tuesday,
Florida State.
ACC is going to be a monster. Florida State and ACC. Miami, who I think might win the ACC. Clemson, who's projected to win the ACC, all in there. And then you got some sleeper teams in that ACC, too, that are going to play some good football. Syracuse is going to play good football this year. We're going to tee up the Duke game in a second, but I picked Duke to get an upset win this weekend against an Illinois team that's ranked top 15. That Duke offense can really go this year. So the ACC is going to be tough. If SMU wants to be able to have a chance to compete in the ACC and win the ACC, it's got to start this week for Baylor. And Baylor, it's the same thing on their side. The Big 12 is going to be tough this year. Arizona State's got a good team. We've watched Iowa State the first couple of weeks come out and have a really good team. Kansas State is going to be rebounding from that loss early in the year to Iowa State. And then your Red Raiders have definitely got a lot to say as they look pretty good in week one against Arkansas Pine Bluff as well. So this is a good measuring stick for both of these guys in an old Southwest Conference battle. When you got a chance to play against both of these guys
no doubt.
consistently playing in that old Southwestern Conference. So it's going to look like one of those shootouts that you guys had back in the day on this Saturday.
And this game at the Cotton Bowl too, right?
So it's going to be a fun one to watch. That game's tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We're looking at a couple of other games. I want to talk about the night game that's happening tomorrow. As I said, folks, we had Cowboys-Eagles last night. Tonight we've got all the different Friday football games. We also got Kansas City Chiefs and Chargers are playing right now. Wayne's Chargers right now up 13-3 up over there on the Chiefs. Tomorrow night we get a really special game as well to keep that going and keep that momentum going. Michigan versus Oklahoma, two teams that are looking to rebound from their performances last year. Michigan had a down year, after they won a national championship. Now they've got a new play caller in there, true freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood, the number 1 quarterback in high school last year. He gets to start out there from Michigan. Had his moments where he looked pretty good last week as Michigan got a win. They're playing against a team that I picked as one of my dark horses to really compete in the SEC, and that's the Oklahoma Sooners. And it's mainly because their brand new quarterback from Washington State, the transfer in John Mateer, who a lot of people didn't know last year, but I think by the end of this weekend against this performance against Michigan is going to be a household name amongst college football fans. John Mateer is a guy that's got a huge arm. He's got a quick release, maybe the quickest release of the football in college football, and he's a dual threat running the football. You add him in with the transfer running back that got Jaden Ott, and you add him in with the defense that's got what could be the best defensive line in the SEC. And that's saying a lot. We know the type of defensive lines that are in the SEC. This is going to be a defensive line that's going to be one of the best in the SEC as well. Yesterday on the show, I picked Oklahoma to win this one. Oklahoma's a 4.5-point favorite. We talked about me going to A&M a while ago. I got a chance to go up to Norman, too, and see what that atmosphere is like.
Atmosphere,
Same type of deal right there, man. That crowd in Norman, when they get to doing that boomer sooner that didn't nobody warn me about before I got out there, I said, okay, this crowd can go. I think that home field advantage is going to give them that extra push above Michigan. But Michigan, a really tough team as well. What do you think about the night game tomorrow, Oklahoma versus Michigan?
I'm with you. I pick Oklahoma. I don't think Michigan can produce enough offense to beat to beat OU. OU is stacked. They went out in the portal. They spent some money. They got the quarterback. They got the offense coordinator. So I expect them to do big things. But I just don't think Michigan is going to be able to produce enough points to beat a good Oklahoma team that's totally revamped, that's totally got big expectations to compete in the Southeast Conference.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them for that very reason. I just don't think the offense is going to have enough firepower. They went out and got Justice Haynes in the transfer portal from Alabama at running back, and he had a great game last week, rushed for 160 yards. But what is Bryce Underwood going to do is my biggest question. Playing in an environment like this, he's a true freshman, 18 years old. The dude was at prom 4 months ago. So you go from that to playing in Norman at that stadium, which, Wayne, we just talked, man, it ain't no joke playing in Norman, playing in front of that crowd. That crowd is going to be loud. It feels like the whole crowd is coming down onto you whenever you're in that field, the way that stadium is set up, man. So a great environment, football environment out there. John Mateer broke the passing record for debut quarterbacks at Oklahoma, and we've seen a lot of great debut quarterbacks at Oklahoma just in the last decade. We talk about Baker Mayfield, who was a Heisman contender. Or we talk about Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams, all these guys that have had great debuts. John Mateer at the top of that threw for 392 yards last week, man. I expect the Oklahoma Sooners to pick right back where they left off. Lots of good games on the slate tomorrow for college football. We're going to go into a quick break, folks. When we come back, we'll talk some more about the games going on in high school. We're at halftime for most of our games, folks, so I'll give you some updates for our halftime scores. I'll touch a little bit of college football. And, Wayne, I got to get your predictions on some of these NFL games for Sunday, man. It's a big Sunday. For those of y'all that like to go out and think you're going to get your spreads right or play your over and unders right, we'll give you a little bit of insight on what to do here in just a second as we look at the football slate for week 1 in the NFL. So stay locked in with us and stay tuned right here on Friday Night Flex. We're going to be right back after this quick break.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in the position to do that.
Pitch hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
On the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planet's alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Going back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around. That is your
Going back in into it, it'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Rounding the third, coming home to score is Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here in right field. It is treetop call and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Boca. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. And walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades. Yeah. Yeah. Rappers really don't want beef with me. Trust me, I can beat you easily. Suckers get DDT'd. I've been swinging for the fences since I was in Little League. I make they nut like a guillotine. Ooh, Langston Hughes with the verses. Hook something like a ring, no. Baby girl, I ain't got time to chase you. I've been chasing dreams, whoa. I'm going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah.
And elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events, we got those on lock too. From concerts to conferences, Lighthouse Streaming and audio makes your vision shine. Book your appointment now at lighthousestreaming.com or call 254-252-4206 for a free consultation. Let's elevate your event and light up the stage.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Gillis. You may know me from Centex Sports Network. We're starting a new platform, Recruit 254. Our mission is to highlight the amazing student athletes of 254. So if you're in the Waco, Killeen, Temple, Mart, Marlin, or any surrounding 254 areas, follow this platform and join the movement. Recruit 254. 254, let's run it up.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in the position to do that.
Pitch hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
On the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Going back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around. That is your
Going back in, into it. It'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Now the Kids coming home to scores Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here in right field. It is treetop call and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Boca. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. The Hyatt's walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades. Yeah. Yeah. Rappers really don't want beef with me. Trust me, I can beat you easily. Suckers get DDT'd. I've been swinging for the fences since I was in Little League. I make they nut like a guillotine. Woo, Langston Hughes with the verses. Hook something like a Reno. Baby girl, I ain't got time to chase you. I've been chasing dreams. Whoa, I'm going crazy like I'm daylight. Yeah, I'm a crossover gang. AI. Yeah, we be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD wouldn't play right. Yeah, I already know if the beat is bananas, it's only right that I go ape on it. Yeah, going crazy like I'm daylight. Yeah, I'm a crossover gang. AI, yeah, we be skipping over all of your versions just like the CD with an A, yeah, going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah, I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah, we be skipping over all of your versions just like the CD wouldn't play right, yeah, going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah, I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah.
This is why you need Centex.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Friday Night Flex here as we're gearing towards the end of the night, going in toward our final hour here on the show. We want to thank everybody for watching with us so far. High trailing by just a touchdown. It was 20-0 just about 30 minutes ago. Waco High starting to get their offense together. We didn't talk a lot about Waco High, but they got an offense that can go as well. They got a quarterback out there in Bryant Whitaker that put up Bass Drop in China Springs. This one has been a back-and-forth heavyweight match. China Spring up 27-21 on Bass Drop right now as they're getting ready to go into halftime. Connally up 8-6 against Lago Vista at halftime. Gatesville 21-7 lead on Glen Rose at halftime. La Vega versus Salina still delayed right now. And with it going this late, I'm looking for a cancellation maybe, guys, to see if that's probably the direction they're going. Hopefully, this is a reschedule and not a cancel. You know, sometimes in the non-district games, they'll just cancel the game and leave it out. But everyone in the state wants to see this game.
Everybody wants to see this game. So, you know, but when you have kids and you travel over 2 hours, you know, you want to get the kids back home safely. You got the band, you got the cheerleaders. So sometimes it's best to do that when you have kids. Now, when you on the collegiate level or the pro level, you're flying in and out. So it's a difference. But hopefully everybody is safe and hopefully we'll get this game in. Yeah. But like you said, right now it's looking like it's going to be a cancellation.
Yeah, but with the game being so far, especially for La Vega, you know, you just want everybody to be safe out on. That's a far job. Been up to Salina It's a good little drive to get out there. And they got a Buc-ee's for you right off the highway when you get up there to Salina. So you can get you some snacks on your way back if that game does indeed get canceled. But we'll keep you guys updated on what they decide to do, what the administration decides to do out there with La Vega and Salina. Lorena versus Malakoff. Malakoff with a 21-14 lead over Lorena. Malakoff was up 21-0, but as me and Wayne said a while ago, this Lorena offense is explosive. They got a true three-headed monster, I believe, between their quarterback, running back, and receiver out there. And now we see this offense start to come alive. It's 14-21, and Lorena's making his way back into this one. Coming right out of halftime, Robinson and Caldwell. Robinson gets the ball first out of halftime. They score once again. They're up 42-14. Telling y'all, the Rockets are going to have a great offense this year out there in Robinson. They're doing a great job so far. McGregor and Grosbeck at halftime. Grosbeck with a 14-12 lead over McGregor. Fairfield putting it on my head right now, up 49-0 in what is a rivalry game, one of the bigger rivalry games in the Central Texas area right now. Fairfield handling their business. At half, Toller up 13-6 on Teague. Sealy putting it on the Yeoman right now, up 50-0 in halftime against the Cameron Yeoman. Hillsborough and Troy, this Troy offense, we knew they were going to get going once they started scoring the ball. They're up 42-14 on Hillsborough right now. Clifton and Coleman. Clifton up 14-7 on Coleman. Axtell and Cairns got that victory 20-14. Bosqueville and Milano. Bosqueville looks to have a pretty good team this year. They're up 42-6 on Milano. Frost and Itasca in a battle right now. Frost up 14-8 against Itasca. Valley Mills and Holland in a shootout. Valley Mills up 38-27 at halftime. Crawford with the 12-0 lead over Centerville at halftime, playing at Centerville. Bruceville Eddy and Barlett. Barlett up 20-6 on Bruceville Eddy. Rosebud Lot with a 28-0 lead over Thrall. Bremond right now in a battle against Grapeland, 28-21 as they go into halftime. Chilton putting it on Italy right now, up 38-0 at the half. Maypearl with the surprising 19-0 lead over the Mart Panthers at halftime right now. This Mart team struggling so far early in the year. They played a really tough Whitney team last week and fell short. Now down 19-0 against Maypearl at the half. We'll look to see if Mark can get this offense going in the second half as well. Rio Vista up 30-0 on Wortham as we go into some six-man football. Iredale up 30-20 at halftime against Covington. Aquila up 22-0 against Pernin Witt. Trinidad up 30-19 against Golson. And Westbrook, final score here, 64-16 against Jonesboro. Vanguard comes out with the big victory here, 62-14 over the Texas School for the Deaf. That is a good win there for Vanguard as well. Lots of great games going on around the Central Texas area, folks, as we just said. Some explosive offenses in Central Texas right now. Robinson being one of those teams. We talked about them earlier. Gatesville being one of those teams we talked about earlier as well. And then at the top of the show, we mentioned Midway as they put up 100 points in their first 2 weeks so far. Wayne, we've seen a lot of good offenses coming out of this Waco area.
Yeah, we know you're going to have skill positions. You know you're going to have it in La Vega. You know you're going to have it at China Springs. You know you're going to have it at Connally. And look like you have it at Midway and all over. Yeah. Robinson as well. I want to talk about some defense as our in-host studio tonight was PJ's Soul Food and Catering. Well, one of the moms that was up here eating, that came up here to see me, Miss Estelle, her son from university ran a touchdown back on an interception tonight. Yeah. So she was up here eating with us, and her son was out there intercepting the pass for university and ran it in for a touchdown. So I just wanted to mention that Colin Estelle from university running a touchdown on the interception.
You must be somebody special, Wayne.
It must be somebody
you must be somebody
I
special.
must be somebody
so
special.
somebody to not be, well, their baby was out there running a touchdown. And she hanging out with you. You must use somebody special.
That's special. That's special. But no, I just wanted to mention that we've been talking about offense all night. So hey, I found a way to throw some defense in there. How about that?
The U-Dogs, that's their calling card. No, that's their calling card at their university. Right. They call themselves a no-fly zone.
That's right.
Estelle, part of that no-fly zone and that defense out there that's been making plays in what is going to be one of the better secondaries in the Central Texas area. For sure, I definitely believe that as they move forward and forward. They're up 28-6 right now against Granbury. University, we knew that they weren't going to stay down long as a team. Last week, their offense struggled. Looks like they're already back into motion. Coach Foster does a great job out there with those kids, and he's got them. The most thing he has is he's got those kids bought into a program.
Right.
And I think that's the hardest thing to do, Wayne, whenever you're getting these kids on this level at the high school area, is to get these guys to buy in to what you're trying to do. Because if they don't buy in, the whole season won't go right.
Yeah, you're right.
We've seen it with a multitude of teams, not just in Central Texas, but around the nation. If the team does not buy in, no matter the talent, you're not going to be able to go out there and win football games.
That's right, and it comes from that person.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from the head coaches and trickles down. So you have to have confidence in yourself and know what you're talking about, and then it trickles down to the team. And once it trickles down to the team, and these kids believe in you, because when that hire was made, it was the kids that pretty much determined that that's who they wanted for their coach. So if that's who you want for your coach, you have to go out there and play for this guy. You have to get back to playing football and doing what you do best. And like I said, it's a lot of expectations over on the south side. So, hey, man, you got to meet those expectations, and we expect big things out of University. So we'll see. We'll see as the season goes along.
Yeah, we got some big expectations for University, not just us, but the whole city of Waco. I talk about often on here. University, I think, has one of the richest fan bases in the Central Texas area.
Man, true fans.
Like I said, they're Waco High consolidated with multiple schools and put them together, so their fan base is still even slightly split up amongst them. But University's got one of the strongest alumni in this city that you can't go to any. I mean, you can see a University jersey at a Connally game. It don't matter where you go. They got so many alumni and so much of a rich history and fan base out there. Their fans love them for University out there playing for the South Side, like you just said. They got a huge fan base.
One school that has remained.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has changed. Mm-hmm. But University, they say once the Trojan, always a Trojan. I want to say we beat up on them every time I played against them. But once a Trojan, always a Trojan. Congratulations to University, man. A good program over there, and I like what they're doing. So
yeah, they're coming in playing a Granbury team that they're expected to get a win over. When you go across the other side, Wayne, you're going back to your high school days, and you see, leading up to it, this guy might be a whatever star. This guy's going committed to play this guy. This guy's a. Is there any games you could think back to where you're like, okay, we might have to play these guys. They got this guy that might be heading off to school over here, or they got this guy that's committed to here, or got this many stars. What is it like going into a game, expecting there's any games you could think of from your time where you're like, okay, well, that guy's a stud on the other side. We're going to bring it and wear our hard hats for this game.
Well, I was that guy.
I was that guy.
Let's
start with that.
I was that guy most of the time.
Let's start with that.
But the only time that I really did it was we played Brett Stafford, who was going to the University of Texas, was like one of the top 5 recruits in the state, and he played for Belton at the time, and he ended up going to be the quarterback at the University of Texas and starting. But we had to play them, and they were in our district, and we were playing them for a district championship. So our main focus was this guy, let's show he going to University of Texas, and Coach Chusa is one of those guys that makes you think about it.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that put it in your head, this guy's better than you. Y'all can't compete with this guy. He's going to throw the ball for 400 yards on you, He's going to run, he's going to run like crazy over you, all those type of things. So he gets you motivated in that way to make you think that this guy is much better than you. And then in the end, I come back and tell you, well, this guy puts his shoes on and ties his shoes just like you do.
Yeah.
But he was a great motivator, and whenever we played against players, he would always hype them up more than what they were.
Yeah.
So you would have this, this grudge you have for this guy. You ready to kill this guy. This guy ain't doing no talking, ain't doing nothing. He just going out playing football. But what Coach Tusi would make it feel like is, man, like this guy done said all this type of stuff about you. Did you hear what he said in the paper? At that time we didn't have social media and all that type of stuff. So, all you could rely on.
Put the article on the board.
Well, and he just come out with these false narratives about this guy, and he have you ready to go out and kill this guy. So, but I was that guy. So, when I get ready to go play football, so guys on the other side of the field pointing at you and telling you, yeah, we got you, I'm going to get you, and that type of stuff like that. So, man, it's a crazy position to be in, but it's also a great position to be in because you got to have your game face on and be ready to go at all times. So I used to love the challenge, and you just have to be ready to do it.
Yeah, I mean, first off, the Coach Tusa stories that we get from you guys are always great each and every time. We got a chance to do cover his retirement party, I believe it was, at Walk-Ons a few years ago, and he had a lot of the guys out there.
Yeah, I was there.
Came and some of the guys stopped by the table to talk. Man, the Coach Tusa stories are always great. The times that we've got a chance to work with him here on Centex Sports Network, I say nobody's got more lines than Coach Tusa. He got a line for every scenario that you could think of.
In life.
For every scenario you could think of. But I can remember back to you talking about playing that guy Belton. I remember back when we were in high school, I think it was my freshman year, and our varsity was getting ready to play Belton. And the whole week leading up, they had a quarterback named David Ash. He went on to play at the University of Texas. He was already committed. He was already committed. I'm like, man, what are we going to do against this guy? I just got in high school, so I'm wondering what is our varsity going to look like. It's about the third or fourth game. We've been blowing people out, but now we get to Belton. That's the game that I knew a guy named Orion Stewart was the real deal. I think he had like 3 picks on him. David, we beat him by 40-something. Yeah. We killed him the whole game. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I think we were going to be for real that year after seeing that. But you put those in your head the whole week like, man, you got to watch out for this guy. You got to watch out for this guy. And high school coaches have a great way of being able to do that, man, and getting you ready. Like you said, by the time you get into the game, you ready to almost kill this guy. He's just trying to act regular. You ready to go hurt him.
He ain't said nothing. He don't know nothing, man. He just a high school football player ready to play. He don't know that the coach from the opposing team and said all of this about. Yeah. And this man ain't said nothing. And, but you gonna either, like you say, you gonna either rise up or you gonna rise down and. You got to be ready to go. I don't care on what level. So
it looks like, from what I'm getting, that game has been canceled
for La Vega and Salina.
Man,
it's been canceled. So they'll probably get back more information. We'll try to get more information about it so that you'll be able to know whether they're going to do it on some Saturday, some point, or they probably are just going to cancel that game. I don't know if
it's non-district.
It's non-district. They're not going to spend that money again.
To gas everybody up and get back to Salina. That's 3 hours some change drive.
That's cost money. You got them buses overtime. That's overtime pay.
Got
to feed them.
Yeah, you got to feed them.
And still got to come back to Waco. And all that goes with that. So unfortunately, as you said, everybody in the state wants to see that game because that's kind of like a bell cow for La Vega to kind of see where they are. We know that they're punching up on that game, but they did the same thing last year. And so now all eyes will go to that La Vega West Orange start, which is next week. And I'm not sure where they play. I don't know if they play on neutral site again. Last year they played in Madisonville, I do believe it was. They played in Madisonville, so we'll see if they do it on a neutral site again. But that's a big game. La Vega lost that game in non-district, but they beat West Orange Start in the playoffs. And I spoke to a former West Orange Start coach, and a few months back at an event I was at, they want their lick back.
Yeah,
they want their lick back. They take it serious at West Orange. They want their lick back. So we'll be looking to get some more information.
That game's in Nacogdoches, by the way. So they're gonna meet again
in Nacogdoches, neutral site.
They're gonna meet in another neutral site in Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches
is where they'll play at. Still a far drive when you coming from Waco.
Yeah, when you coming from Waco.
But West Orange Stark is far though. So
that's Beaumont. That's almost Louisiana.
That's pretty much in Louisiana when you get out there.
That's that southeast.
Yeah,
that's that southeast corridor. So we'll try to get more scores as they come up. We're trying to pull as many scores as we can for you guys.
A couple updates here. Gatesville gets another score. They're up 30-7 on Glen Rose now. What was expected to be a top matchup between those two teams as well. Connally and Lago Vista still locked up here at 8-6 as they go into that third quarter. Robinson still putting it on Caldwell, up 42-14 in that game right now. And Georgetown comes out of the locker room and gets a score to break away from Belton a little bit. 26-21 is that score going on out there right now. Looking forward to see what Waco High is going to do in the second half. They came back. They were down 20-0. Coach Martinez, he's not giving up on these guys. They put a little bit more fight in. Now it's a 13-20 game as they're in the halftime as they come out of there. As we just got done talking about the great Coach Tusu, who coached at Jefferson Moore, who coached at Waco High for many years, and Waco High looking to get back to that relevant spot that they've been in for so long once again and doing it out there. La Vega and Salina, as he just said, canceled, and I believe, like we just talked about, they're most likely done. I don't think they're going to try to play another non-district game, and especially when you got to go to Nacogdoches a week from today.
Right.
So it's not a lot of time in there to try to find some time to drive another 3 hours and go play against Salina out there as well. So we don't get one of the top games that we expected. But this La Vega team, they packed this pre-district schedule, as you guys just teed up a second ago, every single year. This year, they got West Orange Stark that they're going to have to play next week. Right after that, they come home to play in what will be their first home game. These guys still haven't got a chance to play in Belmead. They come home and play a Brownwood team that we know is really good. And then right after that, they got to get back on the road and go play Stephenville. So this is a tough non-district schedule. We know what Coach Howard likes to do. You just talked about Coach Tucson and how he kind of played those mind games with y'all sometimes. Coach Howard is another great coach that likes to test his guys on the mental side as well by testing them. Can you go out here and play against these top schools? Are you going to feed into what everybody's saying of, oh, they're a division higher than those guys? Stephenville's for a Division I. They're going to be way better. Are you going to feed into that, or are you going to go out there and compete? What do you think, Wayne, about this non-district schedule that La Vega does each and every year that has to be the toughest probably in the state?
In the state. I mean, I think it's great because, like I said, you give those younger guys that didn't have a chance to play last year, you give them that experience to go out there and play in these tough and these big ball games. La Vega ultimate goal is to win state. It's not to win they go out to win every single week, but they're putting their guys to the test. So when you do get to district, and then when you do and you win district, or you get second and you go to the playoffs, your objective is not just to win district. That's not successful enough for a team like them.
Yeah.
Their objective is to win state. So that's what he getting them ready for. He not getting them ready for week 7, 8, and 9, and 10. He getting them ready for November, December.
Yeah. And that's why all of those road games are there, because you're going to travel when it comes to the playoffs. You're going to have to probably, get on the road, meet teams in different parts of the state. And so it worked last year. They lost, I think they were going in the district, or they 1-3.
2-3.
2-3 in the district, and some people were panicking, but it toughened them up. They got the chance to see who could play. They made a quarterback change. They got a chance to see who could play, who couldn't play, who was going to be panicking, who was ready for the lights, and they made a run. Going all the way to state championship, and of course losing, I think, to Carthage. In the state championship. Jalen, I see on your computer, you got some branding on the back of your computer. As one of our sponsors, none other than RJ's Bargain Center. And make sure, I'm pulling something up right now. It says, why pay full price for appliances when you don't have to? At RJ's Bargain Center, you will find brand new appliances at prices you won't believe. Washers, dryers, refrigerator, stove, all discounted and ready for you to take home today. Plus, they deliver, install, and you don't have to lift a finger. Stop by this week or sometime very soon. Get one of their specials. Get one of those appliances they got over there at 711 Lynn Street. That's RJ's Bargain Center, Centex Sports Network supporter. I've been over there, checked them out. They got some good prices over there, y'all. RJ's got some good prices. These are new appliances. They're not like used appliances. They're brand new. He's in a location where he's not paying the big box store rent. And so he's able to pass those discounts on to you. So you can find them. I'll make sure I'll put it in one of our description or in the link below. But it's RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street. And you can get in there, get blessed, get the new microwave, get the new refrigerator. I saw a refrigerator that they had in there that had a TV in it, some kind of screen. It was a touch screen like deal offering it. So you can watch SpongeBob right on the refrigerator for those of you that watch SpongeBob. Or more importantly, you could be watching Centex Prime Time on Centex Sports Network, right on your refrigerator while you're getting that food together. And we had some groceries here today. PJ's Tabletop and Catering. I didn't know what they was gonna bring. Exactly, because I've had everything from fried pork chops to hot wings to oxtails, but they brought some chicken, which we know chicken, right?
Yeah.
Man, they brought some meatloaf. I ain't never had meatloaf that good before. I ain't never had meatloaf that good before. I don't know, it
was a sauce. It was a sauce on it, man. It was really, really good. That it was different, but it was great.
Because I don't eat people's meatloaf. I don't generally go and order meatloaf.
Yeah, and that's the whole story about meatloaf. You only eat mamas and grandmas. Hey,
well, I'm gonna have to have,
but PJs.
Yeah, PJs. I'm gonna have to have PJs on there. And you washed it down with some stuff. They said it was tea. I don't know what that was.
Man, about so
good. Hey, so want to definitely thank PJ's Tabletop Catering for coming out and supporting Centex Sports Network. If you are interested in being a featured business, reach out to us on Facebook or reach out to us on YouTube. Just send me an inbox, and we definitely try to get you on. We're trying to feature businesses here in Waco. We're trying to push Waco, y'all. We pushing Waco, and so reach out. Next week, we got, I do believe it's Just Soul Food. Just Soul Food. So I'm gonna definitely have to get some coffee.
J-E-S-S.
I gotta get some coffee in here for y'all after that, man.
Please do.
Or if not, we're gonna fall asleep on set.
Yeah. So if you got a coffee shop, hit me. We might have a place for you. You got a coffee shop and you want to get your coffee seen by people across the city, holler at your boy. We'll get you in there. Go ahead, Jalen.
Yeah, I mean that soul food today was good, man. We got 2 weeks in a row really good food. Me and Wayne was talking off camera. Say, hey, these Friday nights ain't that bad.
Ain't that
we
bad
got to watch a little football. We get some good food to be able to watch the football with. It ain't that bad off coming up here Friday Night Flex with these restaurants going back to back. And please, somebody hit him about the coffee because I'm gonna have to find a way to make it through next week.
Exactly.
After we get back to back soul food.
Even this week, Jalen. I mean, I had hot water cornbread.
Yeah.
Man, and I know a lot of people don't know a lot about hot water cornbread, man, but man, that's an old recipe, man, from the
that did something for Wayne.
Because that's my grandmother used to cook that, and I hadn't had that since. Since she went on to heaven. So, man, that was a joy for me to.
They had some fried pound cake, man.
That was my first time even seeing or hearing that. The fried
pound cake. They said it was a South Waco special.
Oh yeah, they done did it up. They put it on for the
South Waco special.
That's something straight out of South Terrace right there.
Fried pound cake.
Thank you, PJ.
Yes,
Tabletop.
For sure.
Definitely great. So we look forward to that, and any of the local businesses, like I said, next week we got one coming, and I think we got some more coming. We lining them up, and we're gonna get you some airtime. So definitely holler at your boy, and make sure you be ready though, because don't come up in here half stepping. Let me tell you.
The standard set.
The standard was set. The standard was set from week 1.
Yeah, it was.
So in week 2 was just as good. Mm-hmm. So when you come in here, you got to have a high level. I mean, like the CEO says, it's levels to this. Levels to this, man. And they've been top level the last 2. So
it's levels to this, and so definitely. And what y'all didn't see on camera was that our audience in studio for the food part has grown. Have y'all noticed that it's grown?
Last week it was a couple people, about 10. This week,
so I'm gonna have to tell. Hey, I was telling them to cook for 6 or 7. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, y'all gonna have to probably cook. We got a studio audience.
We
got a studio audience, and so. But no, that's great. That's all love. That's all love. Sharing other businesses, and so we look forward to that.
Yeah, before we were just touching on some college football a second ago. I want to touch on a couple more of these games. And while we have the CEO in here, I got to ask him about the team that I know he's following the most, and that is the Colorado Buffs. They came up a little bit short last week in what came down to a Hail Mary pass against Georgia Tech. They got Delaware this week. Do we see this team rebounding? Do we see this team getting to a 9-win season like they did last year? Some people say, it's going to be a down year, no Shador, no Travis, no this and that. I do know Coach Prime is still on the sideline. What's your thoughts about the Buffs so far this year?
I think, first, they're going to probably run through Delaware.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to run through Delaware.
Yeah, that's expected.
But that's small. I think for them to get to 9 wins, they're going to have to establish who their identity is. I'm not sure. Prime, all during leading up to the season, he said this was going to be a running team. And while they did run the ball some, there were some other opportunities to run the ball. Salter, kid from Cedar Hill?
Yep.
From Cedar Hill. He's trying to find his space. There were some times there where he could have ran the ball for first downs, and he threw passes that was incomplete. And I don't think he shouldn't try to change who he is. At Liberty, he ran and threw the ball, right? He threw the ball, sure enough, but he used them legs. And I know sometimes we push quarterbacks into a space in college because they think they can't get to the next level if they can use their legs. Well, I think the quarterback last night in Philadelphia showed you that you can win a Super Bowl and you could do all of that and throw the ball and use your legs. You remember when Jalen was in college, he got switched out to a, he can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball. Well, you ain't got to throw the ball if you got your team structured right.
Right.
And so Colorado's they gotta establish who they are. If you're gonna run the ball, now Georgia Tech showed you what being committed to the run looks like.
Yeah. But we knew that. We knew that. Everybody knew that.
They do it every year.
Everybody, and they knew it.
Yeah.
But we didn't know it would be to the tune of over 300 yards.
Yeah, no, they had 300 yards worth. They had a total of 400 and some yards total offense. That's crazy.
But 300 was rushing.
47 carries.
And we knew that it was going to be that. You knew it was going to be that. Prime knew it was going to be that. The whole world, because that's what Georgia does. That's what Georgia Tech does. So one of those things that they talked about doing was revamping their whole defensive line. Because that was a weakness for them last year. So you have to go out in the transfer portal or you have to recruit kids to prevent that. Because until you're able to stop it, that's what teams are going to do. So you can look for teams to do that all year on Colorado to run the ball. If one team gets 320, so you're going to look for everybody to try to run. It's a copycat league. In the NFL and college, it's a copycat league.
If I'm Delaware, I'm coming out with every kind of running play I can come out with. I wouldn't try to really emphasize throwing the ball.
Right.
If you got to go three and punt, play defense. And But I'm expecting Delaware to come out and try to run the ball. But Colorado, if they can ever establish, it seems like sometimes they want to be this, but then they'll try it, and then when it don't work, they'll go back to whatever the default is. So to get to that 9-win place again, they don't have a Shador.
Yeah. But you made a good point. You made a great point. Yeah. If the quarterback last week, they got 3 turnovers on their side of on the side of the field.
That's crazy.
So when you get a turnover on your side of the field, you got to take advantage of it. They got 7 points, which should have been 21. And if you go out, one time he trying to make the big play, you got 10, 15 yards ahead of you. You got to take what they give you.
Yeah.
You got to take what they give you. You just have, as a quarterback, you have to manage the game and you have to take what they give you.
And that only sets you up. That only sets up the play.
Yeah.
That's all, because that's all Georgia Tech was doing. They're going to run, and they're going to try to hit one over the top. I think that's a Coach Tusa move.
Yeah.
That's a Coach Tusa move.
And then that way, if you go up on a team like them 21-0 because they got the ball, you go up on a team like Georgia Tech 21-0. It's hard for a team like that to come back because now they become one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because all they can do is run the ball. They not built to throw the ball downfield, but with the Colorado defensive line, I don't know. With the Colorado Buffs defensive line, I don't know. I just don't know.
And to be fair, we'll see how they do in a pass rush, traditional type of playing a traditional offense. Georgia Tech is not a traditional offense.
They're not.
They quarterback ran for 140.
I've seen some good teams lose to teams like a Georgia Tech every now and then because that was gap assignment football that they had to play last week, and they just didn't do well.
Yeah, but when you go against Iowa State or you go against a Kansas State teams and a Kansas teams that's gonna run.
Yeah, well.
So you're going to get the same old thing.
That's how they lost last year.
Exactly.
I think the running back had 200 and some yards
Yeah,
last year.
Devin Neal.
So
got him drafted.
So until you can stop the bleeding and you patch that up, I mean, you got to put a Band-Aid on it, man.
Yeah.
Or if not, you're going to bleed out. So
as a defense coordinator or as a head coach, would you rather lose by the run, or would you rather lose with them getting some passes over the top? If you stack the box,
I'd rather take my chances with them throwing the ball down the field because you know what I'm saying. The quarterback has to be accurate, has to throw it. He has to get the time.
This guy wasn't accurate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you make him one-dimensional and you make him pass the ball because I told you is so many things can happen on the pass. So many things can happen on the pass. He can get sacked, a bad snap, interception, drop pass, overthrow. So he has to be effective and he has to be accurate as a quarter. It's a lot of things that have to happen to complete a pass. But to run the ball, just to hand it off and then a guy just run up the middle and he getting 10 yards he getting 5 yards to carry, that's just bleeding out, man.
And really, if you saw all of those third downs, all the quarterback did was drop back, wait 2 seconds and run.
Yeah, run.
I mean, that was that's
quarterback
the play.
draw. Yeah, that's quarterback draw.
That's a play. Yeah, it wasn't exotic.
No,
it wasn't pretty at all.
It wasn't pretty
at all.
He wasn't fast.
You remember, and I know you can attest it. You remember you can go back to those wishbone days and they had 3 guys in the backfield.
Yeah, all that.
That's what that was.
4-point stance. They with 2 hands on the ground. Oklahoma.
Yeah, with a fullback.
Yeah.
You don't even see fullbacks anymore.
They got a documentary out right now about the wishbone offense in Oklahoma and Nebraska.
Jamel Holloway.
And those guys in the 80s right now. Yeah. And it's all the dudes is coming in. The preview is out. Everybody coming in talking about all the injuries they got. Bosworth said, I ruined both my shoulders and my knee and all this playing against the wishbone. So that wishbone offense ain't no joke that y'all just
it's a tough. That Oklahoma drill was a real deal. I mean, that's a real thing. But it's a lot. There's so many benefits, and y'all talking about Coach Toops. There's so many benefits to running the ball. You control the clock. You control the game. You take the risk level goes way down because, as you said, there's a lot of things can happen on the pass.
Yeah, too many.
Especially if you have a quarterback that's not accurate. And he got to make the right decision.
You got to make the right decision.
So I'm with you. I would rather you beat me over the top. I'm stacking the box.
I'm stacking the box.
Get my biggest dudes.
And I'm not saying they did it because they had 8 men in the box.
They did a lot of times.
They had
it's that gap in assignment that he just said.
They still
they lost those 2 linebackers. The 2 dudes that they had were good stopping run. Both of them went to
one went to Alabama.
They lost 2 of their linebackers. The money, they lost some to the money. Must be the money, as Deion said.
Alabama can't call them with that check.
But they have to pay money. The problem they have is Shadoo and Travis got theirs, so everybody else should get theirs. Especially if you go into a program where you bringing in, you revitalize this school. They hadn't had a sellout until he came.
True that.
First sellout since they won a chip in the 90s.
You got boosters throwing money here, boosters throwing money. They got a lot of money in Boulder, Colorado. So you should be able to go out and get whatever you want in the transfer portal or as a high school because you should be able to pay these kids. But I know Prime got a lot of pride, and he's saying, man, I don't want to go out and do that. I'm gonna build my program. Well, now the way colleges are building their teams is through the Texas Tech. We'll see. We'll see because that's gonna be a telltale sign for everybody. If Texas Tech goes and they go undefeated or they get to the Big 12 championship, then you'll see everybody go in there and say, well, we got to spend money.
If Texas Tech does that this year. Because they didn't put money across the board. I mean,
they
got money.
All sports.
All sports. From softball to if them girls will win a chip in softball, everybody's gonna say, okay, We got to spend this bread.
We got to spend this bread.
We don't need a new stadium.
I'm shocked they couldn't keep Aaliyah Chavez in Lubbock, man. I know they wanted to keep her. She committed to Oklahoma. But, man, I was surprised that that's about the only one they missed out on. Oklahoma came with a bag.
Yeah, Oklahoma had to come with a bag.
Yeah, that's about the only thing. Texas Tech been getting everything coming near Lubbock. They got the number one player in the class of 2027. I just seen the number one offensive tackle in the class of 2027 just committed as well. So they spending the money. Colorado's got to do the same. They get in the pretty positions right now. They got the receivers. They got the DBs.
Yeah.
That old line outside of Jordan Seaton.
You don't need them DBs if they running the ball.
Yeah.
If they running the ball, we don't need them DBs.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So you paying for the DBs.
We need some safeties at cornerback. We need some tacklers.
Yeah.
We need some tacklers at cornerback.
But until they stop that run, man,
it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough on the Buffs, man.
And I'm rooting for them because I want Prime to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's done so many things, opening up some doors. We don't even talk about, the Syracuse team. It's two of his coordinators on Syracuse, now.
Coach Van Brown.
So I mean, it's the guys that went to Ole Miss. He lost his defensive line coach. And somebody, so you opening up some doors from guys to get to. He brought those HBCU
those guys from Jackson
coaches
State.
up.
Yeah,
they moved on. So Coach Prime is opening up them doors.
It ain't all about commitment no more. It's about the money.
About the money.
It's about the money.
Oh, I ain't mad at him.
No. And then I'm sure he'll be the first one to tell him, man, if they offer you that money, you better go, coach. That's what he was.
Yeah.
When he played ball, he went from Atlanta to San Francisco to Dallas. It was about the money.
Yeah.
And then to Baltimore.
Yeah, that's it. People forget about the Baltimore.
And he had a song said, "Must be the money."
Now, did Prime did he go to the Redskins for?
And he went to the Redskins.
He didn't play though. I think he went and they had that battle with the coach, and he said, if you don't keep this, it was a black head coach, interim head coach, said you don't keep this coach here, I'm gonna leave. The Snyder family didn't believe him. They wanted to test his gangster. They didn't hire that coach, and he requested a trade right then and there, and that's how. I'm trying to remember where did he go after that.
I think he went to Baltimore.
Yeah.
He went to Baltimore.
Yeah, it was right after that because they gave him, it was going to be the highest paid contract or whatever and all that. He ended up not getting all that money because he forced his way out. They didn't believe him. Out there for the at that time, the Redskins, but the Commanders right now. And the Prime and the Buffs, man, I think they're going to be okay in this Big 12. But when they're not going to be okay is if they don't stop this run, they'll be okay against Delaware. But they're going to get tested against an improved Houston team that following week. They play on another Friday. Next Friday, they play against U of H that following week. They're going to get tested that week, and they'll be able to see. Wayne, I want to talk a little bit about your Red Raiders, man. They haven't played any of the top-tier teams yet. They blew out Arkansas Pine Bluff last week. But we did get a chance to see some of the new toys out there for the Red Raiders, and it's looked good so far. What do you think? What are you expecting to see out of these Red Raiders this year, man?
The same. Well, this year – I can tell you what happened last game. They weren't playing as a cupcake schedule.
Yeah.
They're supposed to win.
Yeah.
If you don't go ahead and beat them by 50 points, then something wrong.
Something wrong. Well, they struggled with ACU last year at the beginning of the year, remember? So they had to come out and make their mark this year and say, it's not going to be like last year.
And then you got Kent State that got beat up on last week. I don't know who beat them up, but you should beat them up again because they coming all the way to Lubbock. You paying them $300,000 and paying for their flight and hotel and for them to eat to come down so you can beat them bad. So, they should win.
You're supposed to beat them.
So, right now, I don't know what they have because they hadn't played anybody. They hadn't proven anything yet because they're winning the games that they're supposed to win and they're winning them big. So it's an untold story right now. We got to wait and see. It's a wait and see type of thing with them right now.
Yeah, they got, like you said, it's pretty cupcake at the beginning.
Like Baylor played Auburn. So you've seen what they did against top-notch competition. They play SMU. So you'll see what they doing against top. Iowa State and Kansas State already played. So you can kind of see what these teams have, but you just haven't seen, you won't be able to see what Texas Tech has until their first conference game. So
they'll get Kent State this week. The next week after that, they'll get a little bit more of a test playing against Oregon State. They got the transfer quarterback from Duke. Well, he came from Texas and then Duke, and Malik Murphy out there, and we'll see if they're real test. But they open up their conference play against Utah which is a team they're ranked number 25 now, and they're a team that I really think has a chance to compete. I watched them play against UCLA last week. They look good.
Whoever wins that game is going to get a leg up on the on the Big 12.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of Texas Tech, and I don't know where that game is. I don't know if it's in Lubbock or
it's at Utah.
It's at Utah.
Yeah.
Oh man, so it's going to be
tough. Be a tough one. Yeah,
it's going to be a tough
one. Might be a night game out there as well, and so that'll be their real test, real measuring stick to see, because opening up conference with a team like that,
because they should be because they should go into that game 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. Yeah.
Because they'll beat Oregon State. Oregon State got beat up last week.
Yeah, they did.
So they should go in 3-0. But Utah is also going to come in 3-0.
Yeah.
So
and they already beat UCLA.
Yeah, and they beat and they played a formidable opponent. Mm-hmm. So when you play a formidable opponent compared to, let's say, Kent State, that's a difference.
Yeah, it's a difference out there when you do that. So I'm excited to see what do they do in a couple of weeks in that game. That's going to be a really fun one to watch too against Utah. I think two explosive offenses. I stayed up a little bit and watched Utah versus UCLA last week. And Utah's quarterback, everybody was wondering, okay, Dan Pierce transferring in from New Mexico State, a smaller school. Yeah, he dominated there, but what is he going to do in the Big 12? It looked like he picked up right where he left off in the Big 12, especially using his legs, man.
No doubt.
That guy can go. Let's take a live look over into this China Spring and Bastrop game before we go into our last break here. Looks like Bastrop has just scored as they're trying to near getting closer to trying to tie this game up. China Spring has put a little wedge between them coming out of that locker room. It was 34-21. Right now, looks like Bastrop just scored, so they're narrowing down that lead and what could end up being. Looks like we're going to a real good finish here towards the end of this game, 34-27. It was like this last year. Last year, I believe the game was 27-24 in their final score as China Spring was able to win on the road. Now at home, that home crowd we talked about earlier in the stream has boosted up China Spring a little bit, but Bastrop not going anywhere right now. They're in the third quarter. It's 34-28. As we see there in the bottom screen, Bastrop just scored. China Spring going to get the ball back. Wayne, when you're in games like this where it's just back and forth between these offenses, what is the coach saying on the sideline, and what are you guys thinking as players to say, all right, we got to go out and make this play in order to get some separation between the two of us?
Well, you're at home, for one. You got a team that's coming on the road, that's coming in your home and trying to win. So, when you go to the third and fourth quarter, you always throw up that 4, right? You always throw it's fourth quarter. It's mano. It's a game of attrition. So, hey, man, let's go out here and get it done. Let's finish the game. Let's close the game. Let's go out here and execute and get us a victory. No turning the ball over, no doing anything, no stupid penalties, none of that. Let's just go out here and finish the ball game. So I'm sure that's what they'll do. They still got a 7-point lead. So, hey, now it's time for everybody to go out and execute and do their job so we can move on and get to next week.
Yeah, it's 34-28 right now as they're nearing towards the end of that third quarter. This is the time where you hand that ball off. You got a stud running back like Krishan Gregory. It's time to start handing that ball off. Hey, let's control the clock. Let's control the tempo of this game. And let's try to lean on them. You're going into the fourth in a crowd like this, in an atmosphere like this, you're starting to get a little bit tired. The legs starting to feel that you've been running up and down the field, especially in a shootout game like this. Let's try to run on these guys. Let's try to lean in on them. And I'm sure that's what Coach Betty and his staff is saying out there to his quarterback and his running back right now is, hey, let's go control this clock and let's make sure we stay in control of this thing going into the fourth.
Yeah, we got 8 minutes. What is it? 8 minutes they play in high school? You got 8 minutes.
12-minute quarters, yeah.
Is it 12 minutes?
Yeah, they got the 12 out there.
What?
And yeah. So they got one more of that. And so, hey, let's try to eat up as much of this 12 minutes as we can on this drive while we have a lead, a touchdown point lead. And we see them running it right now, handing it off to Gregory. And
great start.
Man, he trying to get up that sideline. I'm telling you, that guy's dangerous. For those of y'all that didn't tune in earlier, when we were talking about this guy, Krishan Gregory, that next China Spring running back that I think is in line to be able to really make some noise, man, and they're getting him the ball as China Spring looking to take a lead. Folks, we're going to take our last break here on Friday Night Flex. When we come back, We'll give you guys some more score updates from around Waco. And we got to talk about NFL Sunday is starting this weekend, so we got to talk about a couple of those games. So stay tuned. Stay locked in with us on Friday Night Flex. Last break. We'll be right back after this short break.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in the position to do that.
Pitch hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
On the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets align, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Going back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around. That is your
Going back in, get to it. It'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Now Gillis coming home to score is Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here in right field. It is treetop call and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Vega. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. And the Highlanders walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades. Yeah. Yeah. Rappers really don't want beef with me. Trust me, I can beat you easily. Suckers get DDT'd. I've been swinging for the fences since I was in Little League. I make they nut like a guillotine. Woo, Langston Hughes with the verses. Hook something like a ring, no. Baby girl, I ain't got time to chase you. I've been chasing dreams, whoa. I'm going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your verses just like the CD with a playwright, yeah. I already know if the beat is bananas, it's only right that I go ape on it, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your versions just like the CD with an A, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah. We be skipping over all of your versions just like the CD with a playwright, yeah. Going crazy like I'm daylight, yeah. I'm a crossover gang, AI, yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Friday Night Flex as we're here, final minutes of the show. First off, we want to thank everybody that's been tuning in with us here today. Once again, we got to thank PJ's Table and catering as well, man. Got to thank those guys for stopping by with us, getting us some good old soul food, man. These Friday nights have been going smooth so far with these restaurants each and every week. Let's get you guys some updates on the scores as we get ready. Like I said, towards nearing the end of the show, and most of these games are getting towards their final as well. So we'll give you guys some updates on the scores going on around the Central Texas area. Temple and Round Rock in a battle right now out at Round Rock as they go into the fourth quarter. Round Rock with a 22-20 lead. This game has been back and forth all game. Third quarter, Waco High and Corsicana. Corsicana with a 29-13 lead. Waco High was able to narrow that lead down to 7. Corsicana looks like they're sticking that wedge back in there to try to extend the game back out. University and Granbury. University putting it on Granbury now up 41-6 in the fourth quarter. Final score out of Belton. Belton's got a win 34-26 over Georgetown. China Spring and Bastrop in a battle right now, as you just showed that game a second ago on here. 34-28 is the score, with China Spring has the lead. In the fourth quarter, only a few minutes left in this game. Connally with a 15-6 lead over Lago Vista as Connally looks to close out that win on senior night there for the Cadets. Gatesville and Glen Rose. Gatesville's got a 30-7 lead. This game has been delayed due to weather out there in Glen Rose as well. So we'll look to see if they decide to go ahead and cut that game and give it to Gatesville. They got a 30-7 lead in that one, so I'm sure that they'll go ahead and consolidate that win over to Gatesville. Lorena and Malakoff still in a battle right now, 21-14. Robinson, final score out of Robinson at home. They played their first home game, 55-14, a win against Caldwell. We talked about that dynamic offense that they have out there. McGregor and Grosbeck in a battle, 21-20 right now as they're in the fourth quarter. Fairfield closes it out against Mejia with a huge victory on their rival, 66-0. Final score there for Fairfield and Mejia. Teague and Toller in a battle, just 3 minutes left in the game. Toller with only a 1-point lead, 13-12 is the score out there with Teague and Toller. Sealy gets a big win against the Yeomen, 57-0 in the game against the Cameron Yeomen playing at home at Sealy.
That's a beatdown.
Yeah, that's a beatdown right there. There's been a couple of those so far in this game, and we got some more to show. Troy versus Hillsboro, up 55-14 in the I-35 battle right there. Troy looking to close this one out. They've got a dynamic offense as well. Clifton with a 28-14 lead over Coleman in the fourth quarter. Hamilton and Early delayed, but Hamilton's got a 34-0 lead. Keep seeing a reoccurring theme here with some weather delays going on around the state of Texas. Bosqueville up big in the fourth quarter, 56-12 on Milano. Frost and Itasca in a battle right now, 21-14 is the score there. Valley Mills and Holland, and what was a shootout, but Valley Mills is pulled off now, 62-27 in the fourth quarter. Crawford, final scores, they get a win in Centerville, 20-0 in a battle out there in Centerville, Texas. Barlett got the lead, 34-6 on Bruceville Eddy. Heiko up 28-6 on Moody. Riesel and Blooming Grove in a battle right now, 13-8, as Riesel's got a 13-8 lead on them. Rosebud close to closing this one out against Thrall, 42-7 in the fourth. Bremont in a real battle right now versus Grapeland, tied up at 36 apiece as they head up into the fourth quarter. Bremont was up big in that game. Grapeland has come back in that one and made it a real game. Chilton gets a big win over Italy, 46-0. Hubbard gets a huge win. It looked like a basketball score over McDade, 70-0 in that game, and that one is still going. Mart trying to make their comeback is 19-7 right now in the fourth quarter, taking on Maypearl. Malakoff Cross gets a win over Meridian, 20-0. Wortham and Rio Vista. Rio Vista gets the win, 37-6. Willow Park Trinity and Live Oak. Live Oak gets a win, 28-7 in that game. Lametta and Blum. Lametta with a 40-28 lead on Blum in that game. Iredale and Covington still throwing punches, 36-26 in the third quarter. Final score out of Bynum and Abbott. Abbott gets a 50-0 win as we go into some six-man football. Aquila was in a battle with Pern and Witt, but Aquila, as we know them to do, pulls off in this one up. They get a victory, 60-12 in that game. Coolidge up on the Methodist home, 46-30. Trinidad with the lead, 42-37 over Golson. Westbrook gets a win, 64-16 on Jonesboro. Morgan with the win over Covington, 61-14 in that game. Avant and Waco Christian, Avant with a 42-19 lead in the fourth quarter, and Vanguard gets a win, 62-14 over the Texas School for Deaf. So a lot of these games coming to those final scores here. Some of the games have some surprising scores. Some of these, Wayne, we kind of previewed and knew what was going to happen in this one. Right. We expected University to pull off on Granbury. We expected Robinson to close out Caldwell, and they definitely closed it out. 55-14 was the final score over there. Gatesville's going to get a win in those games. Not many surprises this week, but the teams that we expected to do good, Wayne, are starting to pull forward and look like the teams we expected them to be.
And no doubt about it. You said it and I said it. You know, that first quarter, they kind of feel everybody's feeling each other's out. Mm-hmm. But then when you get to the second quarter and then the second half, then those games start to take off. And the schools that we expected to win have gone out and expected. One of the games is the La Vega Solana game.
Everybody was waiting on that.
There's another, and that's a Central Texas game. It's another game. First of all, Connally is up 21-6 now, 2:42 left to go in that game. So they got that. But I'm looking here. Duncanville is up 35-21 on Oak Cliff. And Oak Cliff actually beat North Shore last week, which was, I thought that was, again, punching up. Yeah. That was 5A against 6A.
Yeah.
And but Duncanville looks like with 7:42. Well, still a lot of time left. 7:46 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Duncanville is up 35-21 on South Oak Cliff. This Oak Cliff team had just a resurgence, man.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, yeah. I talked to the Oak Cliff coach, and one of the things he said he had to do was, he had to start from the ground up. And he had to start from the ground up. He had to go talk to the parents. He had to go talk to the youth organizations. He had to start all over because they wasn't getting that. It was dead. Everything was dead. And so they had tradition. They had pride. They had everything on their side. They had a lot of alumni, man, that were like, hey, man, what's going on? What's happening? And so he had to start all the way over, and look where it's got him. Look where it's got him. They have come back, a resurgence.
Putting some good teams on the field. Really, it's almost maybe the template that a school like a Waco High needs to to try to follow.
Yes, and that's what me and Jalen talked about that earlier. Like you have to start there. You have to start in your community, and you just have to start off. You have to take baby steps almost. They got the right guy over there. Now you just have to get the players and the talent over there. Because if you don't have the talent, you're not going to win. You have to reshape the whole culture, but you have to start at your junior highs. You have to start at the youth programs. And then those guys because what they had was they had their feeder schools, the guys from their feeder schools in Waco, they winning at the feeder schools, and then they go to university.
Yeah.
So now you got to get you one or two good guys over there that turn everything around, and then you'll have guys that want to come and join them. Because that's all it takes. It's just like I remember one year in Midway, when they got Hubert over there.
2009. Yeah.
Everything started to change. Everybody wanted to come to Midway because they started winning. It was the biggest school. And same thing with University. When they winning, everybody want to come. You go to La Vega, nobody wants to go through the hard work anymore.
Yeah.
But to get there, you have to go as a coach. To get there, you have to go through the hard work. So you're gonna have to do something positive to start getting those kids to start seeing those things so they want to come.
I don't know what it takes for those kind of programs to try to make that comeback, but I do understand business. And if you whipping me out here in the street in business, I got to come for you. And Waco High. Waco ISD, they got to come for these other schools. I mean, you got a brand new high school on the ground. You got to come for them.
Yeah.
Whatever that takes, you got to make, the administration down. Because guess what? La Vega ain't playing with y'all. They getting all that they can get.
Yeah, and they got the right guy. Coach Love, tremendous. He's used to winning. He was a coach at Waco High. He's used to winning. He's not used to seeing teams lose. So as an athletic director, he wants to see his programs be successful. So, it don't matter how many coaches he has to get over there to get it done. I think he has the right one over there now, but you have to start getting the kids. You got the facilities now.
Yeah.
So if I'm a kid, I want to be a part of something new. I don't want to be. I want to start a new tradition, and you have kids like that today that they want to start something new. That's SMU. SMU program was dead.
Yeah.
You know, they had the death penalty.
Man, they built their program here these last 5 years. They were the first school I saw really leverage social media because they was posting like they was winning national championships.
Yes, they were.
And they wasn't winning no national championships. But they built all of this momentum. You know, it was they was just. It was just fun. It looked like it was just fun to be there, and so they started recruiting Dallas.
Yeah.
And they went and got DeSoto's coach. That was the main thing. They got in the community. They go and get a coach from DeSoto. I think they got some of the assistant coaches from Duncanville, and now all of a sudden kids that's in Dallas are going to SMU.
You start to keep that talent at home.
Yeah.
You start to keep that talent at home. Well, that's almost what you had to do over here at Waco High.
Absolutely.
Your program's been dead for a while. You haven't been winning. You've been losing to your. But university was like that 5 years ago. They didn't win a game.
Yeah.
But now look at them. They resurged. So now, I mean, you got the facilities. You just have to start getting the kids.
It's intentional. If you're gonna make changes in anything in your life or any place, you're gonna have to make some intentional changes. It just don't happen. You know, you just not. You know, the old Waco High where everybody was just gonna come to Waco High because they lived and that ain't happening no more. I go where I want to go. You know, I'm a transfer.
And that's the deal. Yeah.
I go where I want to go. So you got to compete with those schools. You see what La Vega did. They doubled down. They done built a new field house. They got an indoor facility coming. La Vega coming for you. I hope the teams in Waco understand La Vega not playing with y'all.
Well, success will do that for you, don't it? You know. Success will do that for you.
Well, they're showing it and they flexing it, and I ain't mad at them because that's what you're supposed to do.
We're watching Wayne, your Chargers taking the lead over here on the Kansas City Chiefs. I seen Quentin Johnson just score, a guy that used to be right here in these Friday Night Lights in Texas. I believe played at Brenham when he used to be out there, man. So see guys come from these Friday Night Lights here
and scored twice. He scored twice tonight.
Yeah. So seeing them get back in the win column, hey. It's good to see these guys that played in the Friday Night Lights right here in Texas. Now you get to play on Sunday mornings playing in the league, man. So it's always fun getting a chance to see that. While we tee that up, I want to go over and hit a couple of NFL games, folks, before we get out of here and give you just what we're thinking about as the Chargers up on the Chiefs right now. We watched Philadelphia take out the Dallas Cowboys last night without their best defensive player spitting on somebody. That was crazy, man. I don't know what that guy was taking away. I don't know if you've seen something like that. I've been in any games like that before.
To any human being, man.
Yeah, that's
somebody,
crazy.
You know, a bodily fluids dumping them on you, man, and spitting on you. That's just disrespectful as a man. I mean, how degrading can you get, man? And then for a guy in professional sports is really bad. And you one of the best players in the league, and you hurt your team last night.
You did.
So. Man, I don't even know what to say about that, but I expect a big fine and a suspension for that.
Yeah, he's got to do better, especially going into a contract. You're going into your contract year now in the NFL. Once you're entering your third year, this is already starting to be your contract. It's starting to get negotiated. You got 2 more years left on your deal when you're a first round pick, but your contract is already starting to be negotiated.
And the
right
thing
now.
about it is, it hurts you coming out.
Yes,
it hurts you coming out. Because you would have been maybe the first pick in the draft.
First pick as a D tackle.
Yeah.
It was going to be a first pick in the draft.
Yeah. You were clearly a top 3 pick, and you went from a top 3 pick to what I think
number 9.
Number 9, yeah.
9.
So that's $1 million. That's $2 million.
Yeah,
so,
that's millions.
So you costing yourself millions. So stop doing it, young man, and just go out and play the game with some integrity.
You got to make better decisions especially when that's already your label going into these games or going into the NFL. They have already labeled you as a problem guy. So you don't want to give them any more fuel to the fire. Some great games going on Sunday. We finally got week 1 here in football. That means Thursday through Monday from here until January is going to be full of football, and I cannot wait. As week 1 is starting this week, I want to go all the way to the Sunday night game. Start it off, man. The rematch of the division round of the playoffs. Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's playing at home in this game. Josh Allen coming off an MVP season. Lamar Jackson coming off a season where he feels like he should have been MVP. I feel like he should have been MVP, but that's all behind us now as we're going into this next season. Week 1, starting at Buffalo. Wayne, who you got in this game, Ravens and Bills?
Well, you know, last week we started with the college football, man, and my record was, man.
You ran through them last week.
So let's see if we can do it. Well, I'm gonna go with Baltimore.
Okay.
I think Baltimore has the best team. They might pick to win the Super Bowl. Actually,
Mine as well.
Or to get to the Super Bowl from the AFC. But they loaded, man. They don't have any weaknesses. They don't have any weaknesses. You know, but going into Buffalo, that's a hard place to go win. I just don't think that Buffalo has enough. I think that Baltimore has the best roster in the whole league, and I don't think Lamar Jackson can play better than he played last year. But if he does, man, because last year he had the best season of any quarterback ever.
Yeah, definitely.
And he didn't win the MVP. And I think they gave it to Josh Allen because he had less than anybody and he got the job done. But I'm picking Baltimore in this game.
Yeah, I got Baltimore in this one. I'm agreeing with you. This is the best roster in football, top to bottom. We looked at Philly last night, who has one of the best rosters in football, but we saw some holes out there. You're not going to see no holes out here on Baltimore, on offense or defense. They've drafted amazing. They've spent money in free agency in a great way. They found the right guys to go around, and they found a way to pay that quarterback max dollars all at the same time. So this is a great team. I got Baltimore in this game. The Monday night game, we get to see the debut of Ben Johnson in Chicago as they're going to take on the Minnesota Vikings team that we're kind of wondering what are they going to look like now that they don't have Sam Darnold back there and they got a rookie in J.J. McCarthy in this game. They're playing this one on Monday night. Chicago is an underdog. Minnesota's a 1.5-point favorite in this game. But I was going through the games on Thursday, Wayne, on the show. I picked Chicago to win this game. They're playing at home. It's Monday Night Football. They got a new coach. We don't know what McCarthy's going to look like. Who you got in this one with Minnesota and Chicago on Monday night?
I'm with. That was my upset of the week, Jalen. You just took
Chicago?
it, man.
Oh, my bad.
You just took it, man. You just took it. Because I'm like you. Chicago has had a defense. Their defense was top 10 in the league last year.
Last 2 years.
It was their offense that hurt them. And I think with the emergence of Williams and with them having Johnson as the offense is their head coach, I think they do things that's a little different. They had the skill positions. They went in and got some people that can protect him, and then bringing him in as a play caller. I think Chicago is going to get it done. One good thing about it is when he was with Detroit, he never lost to Minnesota. So
yeah, that is true.
So I mean, you're playing against the same defense, but now you're the head coach. So you're putting that offensive plan together, and I think Chicago beats them. That's my upset of the week this week.
Yeah, I like Chicago, man. I think this will tell us a lot about this team fully. Can they, if the offense, they spent the money in the offseason on their offensive line. If those guys can block and they can hold up and they can run that football to go along with we know what Ben Johnson's play calling is going to look like. He's going to have the tricks. He's going to be able to do whatever he wants to do out there on the field. So I'm excited to see the Chicago team get out there. One more, Green Bay, the new look Green Bay Packers with Micah Parsons out there at edge now playing against the Detroit Lions, a team that had all the expectation in the world last year, but fell short when they got in that divisional round, ran into Jaden Daniels and what was a buzzsaw right there. Now they're trying to rebound. Green Bay's paying at home. They just paid the new guy. They've been in the news because they got Mike out here. They got him paid, and he should be out there in the field in week 1. How do you see this one going between Detroit and Green Bay?
Man, I'm taking Detroit. The same fate he would have got in Dallas is the same fate he's finna get in Green Bay. I think he's finna take a loss. To be honest with you. I mean, Detroit returns people, a lot of players that didn't play for him last year, off an already good team that should have advanced to the Super Bowl last year. You know, but they had so many people that got injured on defense.
Yeah.
Now they return all those players this year with the addition of the players that played last year. It's just like I was telling you in football, like when you play a preseason schedule, you kind of try to get your younger guys ready for district, so you expose them. Well, those guys got exposed last year, those guys that played with Detroit. So now they're coming off this is a year where they're coming into their second and third years in the league. So I'm thinking. I'm saying Detroit is going to win, man. I take Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's actually the underdog in this one. If you were to call it that, it's barely an underdog. Green Bay's a 1.5 point favorite. That's probably just because they're at home, most likely. This Green Bay team, I think, is going to be really good, but they're going to have to get it going. Detroit's a well-oiled machine. We know what Detroit's going to do from the jump. If you can't stop that run, Micah's good. Rashawn Gary is good. They might have probably the best edge duo in the league. But if they can't stop that run, none of this is going to matter. One thing we know about Detroit, they don't have to pass the ball. If they can run it, they will run it. And they'll run it the entire game with the Sonic and Knuckles, what they call each other, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They're going to run that football, man. So for that reason, I'm like you. I'm picking Detroit on the road. Even though Green Bay's got the new toys, even though Green Bay is at home, that Green Bay home field advantage don't kick in until about November to me when it starts getting cold out there.
And another point, Detroit is just like Philadelphia. Their offensive line, man, is powerful.
Top
they
tier.
can run the ball. They can protect. And we always talk about the trenches, and in the trenches, Detroit has it, man. They has it. So they have it. So I'm expecting them to win this ball game.
Last one here, man. You already know who I'm picking in this one, but it's the Texans and the Rams. Who you got in this one, Wayne? I ain't got to tee it up. I know who I'm picking. I got the Texans already in this one.
I mean, your dad is from Houston. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I know he's a Houston Texans fan too.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna say y'all take a loss in this one, man.
They got Rams favorite. It's in L.A.
I know it. I just think the new look L.A. Rams and what they bring back.
They got a good team.
They got a young defense that played well last year, and they returned all those guys. The only players that they really lost was Cooper Kupp, and he really didn't play down there in the end of the. Well, he did play,
and they replaced him with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, so I'm picking the L.A. Rams. So
I can't even be mad at that. It's at home too, man. This Rams team, I ain't talking about them that much because they finna play my Texans, but this is one of my favorite teams. If Stafford is healthy, to go throughout I might pick them in the NFC to win it all. That's how highly I think of this Rams team, and that's how good they play so far. Folks, we're getting to the end of our night here. I want to give you guys some last-minute score updates before we get off of here. China Spring and Bass Drop in a battle right now. I want to give you guys some more of these scores that are going out. Before we get off of here today, obviously I gave you some of those final scores. University was able to close that one out as they got a win versus Granbury. Corsicana and Waco High. Corsicana look like they're about to close this one out. China Spring and Bass Drop are in a knockout, drag-out fight right now over there in China Spring. Bass Drop's got a 42-34 lead right now, playing at home, but China Spring's got the football. Wayne, before we got off of this China Spring team, we moved on just a second ago. It was 34-27 with China Spring. And Bass Drop is going back-to-back now.
And we were talking about what you have to do to close out the game to win it. Well, it's obvious that none of those things took place because Bass Drop has come back and has taken the lead. So, I mean, you got to know how to close out ball games, but they still got a quarter to go. But, hey, man, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to be able to close.
Especially when you let a team come back and they were down 21 at one time, then they were down 14, and now they didn't come back and they up 7 points. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's going to be a really close game there, as we knew it would be. They've gone back and forth, like you said. Wasn't able to do those things to close the game out. You got to run the football. You got to try to kill some clock. But both offenses have been on point the entire game, so not surprised by Bass Drop coming back in this one. A battle in that game. Only a few minutes left to go in that game. Connally gets the victory over Lago Vista 22-6. Gatesville, they resumed that game now. Just a few minutes left. They're up 30-7 in that game. As we told you guys, if you haven't tuned in with us earlier, La Vega and Salina game canceled. Unfortunately, we know that was going to be the top game in the state that everybody wanted to watch. Malakoff looks like they're pulling off on Lorena. They're up 35-21 in that game. Robinson, big win over Caldwell, 55-14. Grosbeck getting near a win right now in the fourth quarter, 31-27. Tight game out there against McGregor right now. Fairfield, the big win over Mahia, 66-0. Troy and Hillsborough. Troy getting ready to close this one out, up 55-22 in that game. So lots of great games that happen here tonight. Some still going on, like the game you just saw down there in the bottom of the screen with China Spring and Bass Drop going back and forth. We got the Chargers and the Chiefs going on over here next to us, looking like the Chargers close to pulling out a victory. Only a couple minutes left in that one. But I ain't never, until that final whistle blows, you can't count out number 15 out there in Kansas City.
Exactly.
Baylor SMU tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We talked about that earlier. Go back and check out some of our previews for that game. But we're getting close. We're getting ready for the end of the night here, folks. We want to thank everybody that tuned in with us again. We got to shout out PJ's Table and Catering. Thank them for coming up and bringing us some food, man. Really good soul food. Make sure you guys check them out. Please ask for that sweet tea whenever you go down there to check those guys. Hey, that tea was off the chain. I don't know what they put in it, but they wasn't doing no type of playing. Got to shout out again, RJ's Bargain Center. Once again, located on 711 Lynn Street in Waco. Make sure you guys give them a call for all your appliances. 254-224-6178. Once again, that is 254-224-6178. Folks, we're closing out the show here today on Friday Night Flex. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Like and share this stream. Let the guys know after the game when you guys are coming back, you can watch this and look at some of our analysis that we gave throughout the game. We're going to be back, same place, same time next Friday. Centex Primetime on Monday going through. Wayne's going to be back with us next week. Rocky will be back with us next week on Centex Primetime. We're going to let you guys know about what's going to be another great weekend of football. Week 1 in the NFL, Week 2 in college football starts tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in with us here today. Signing off, Jalen Gillis, Wayne Walker, Roy Gillis in here with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Friday Night Flex. Everybody have a great night.